want to say. Steph Curry went to Chris Paul camps when he was a kid, and they were really close, and they worked out together in Charlotte. And now maybe the pupil has surpassed the master, and I think every time that they meet, it is real personal, and it's the matchup to watch.
It is, that there's so much more to this. I just remember the last game down in L.A., which we did not work, wasn't on CSN Bay Area, but Draymond Green with the man in the middle is just unbelievable with DeAndre Jordan. I just thought he handled him so well. We'll see how that plays tonight. Have we heard, is Andrew Bogut playing? I don't know whether he's going to play or not.
Bogut warmed up, and usually if he's going to warm up, he's going to take a shot at it. I think that becomes important because the Clippers are 29th in the league in rebounding, so the Warriors may have an advantage on the glass. The Clippers didn't rebound at all over the weekend. I think the issue, too, Pop and Saint were talking about J.J. Redick.
Yep.
He has been one of the first quarter scoring leaders in the league. If he gets going, now Clay has to honor him, and he gets the Clippers offense going, and then he passes the baton to Jamal Crawford.
He's developed into a legitimate and a sure NBA player.
Right.
A confident one, consistent one. This is his best year, his finest year as far as scoring and shooting. It's not going to be easy. I'll go back to that first matchup when you talk about Chris Paul, because he averages 23.2 against the Warriors lifetime.
Yep.
That's the best against any other NBA team. So I love this matchup. The Warriors go for a sweep tonight, right?
That's it.
Okay. They beat them 5 straight times. This is, just keep making the statement. They obviously respect the Warriors, but it's always going to be a battle.
Yeah, and I think you guys are hitting on it. It's a circle the wagons game for the Clippers. These teams are likely to meet in the second round. If you're LA, you have got to break the seal at some point against the Warriors. And if you don't do it without Iguodala, without Ezeli, and maybe a hobbled Bogut, when are you ever going to do it?
Yeah, and one thing, too, if you notice in the press conference with Steve Kerr, people keep asking about the record. He said, well, now I will address it. It was premature earlier in the year.
Okay.
But he said, we're trying to win every game to get the #1 seed. And so now they coincide so we can talk about the record. So now they're synonymous. They're one and the same. You want to keep winning. You want to keep the foot on that pedal right there. And so now we can talk about both legitimately.
Yeah, you guys know this is one of the rivalries we really look forward to. The crowd is always into it. You know Doc Rivers and the Clippers are going to be ready. This will be a fun one tonight.
Beat L.A., try to sweep L.A., sweep L.A. Jim was mentioning the game that Draymond Green had back on February the 20th. We'll also get an update from Steve Kerr. Check out the Warrior lineup, see if Andrew Bogut is going to play. But Draymond Green on February the 20th, Bogut did not play that game. In the matchup against DeAndre Jordan, he just stepped out and picked them apart. They went to a spread small lineup, 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, and I think he's ready to do it again against DJ and the Clippers. Authentic Fan Friday is back this Friday against the Dallas Mavericks. We're giving away 100 free tickets in section 212, so sign up to win at csnbayarea.com/Warriors staff. Fans at the arena will also receive free cheer cards and a Warrior beanie cap, so we'll see you at Oracle Arena, the greatest tradition of all of sports, Authentic Fan Friday, because they are the best show. They never lose at home, and they average 115 points a game. They're the highest scoring team in the NBA. And if you're a fan of the Warriors, and I think you are, why would you be watching Warriors pregame live? I think you're familiar with an online sensation named B.A. You can follow him on Twitter, but he has fun basically mimicking NBA players' on-court moves. And he just came up with this, mimicking the entire offense of your Golden State Warriors.
Steph comes down the court, he dribbles, uses the ball screen, immediately double team. He passes out a double team to Draymond at the top of the key. Draymond surveys the court. Steph comes off one screen. He comes off another one. And he immediately screens for Clay. Clay screens for Steph. Steph screens for Clay. Clay screens for Steph. Steph cuts back door. Draymond passes him. Steph passes to Iggy in the corner. Iggy pump fakes, dribble, behind the back, crossover, one hand pass to Bogut. Iggy does his patent runaway. Bogut catches at the top of the key. Everyone cuts off Bogut, even the opposing teammates. He cuts, he fakes, he cuts. Behind the back pass, cutting Draymond. Draymond left hand pass to Curry in the corner. Curry pump fakes, the whole team jumps. Curry shoots it. He turns around before it even goes in.
I don't think he's aware that he did not make the shot, Bob. This is freaking amazing. Look at him celebrating, and he misses the shot. I mean, he misses terribly. But did anybody see Steve Kerr's reaction as this whole sequence was going on? It's like the Sour Patch Kids. One time they're sweet, next thing you know they're sour. You gotta love the Warriors, man. This is an awesome team.
Wow. You wore me out, Stanley. I thought I'd talk fast. He's the only guy who talks more when he plays than Draymond Green. Tim Roy would like that, I think. Let's check out the Warrior lineup, and they are 63-7 overall. It'll be Steph Curry at point guard. We are just been told Andrew Bogut is playing. So if he's playing, he's probably starting. So it's Steph and Clay, Harrison, Barnes, and we just got confirmation he is going to start the game as well. So James Michael McAdoo, you made your first ever start Monday in Minneapolis, but you're not playing. So it's Barnes at 3, Draymond at 4, and Bogut will start at center. Kelly Johnson now appears on your TV set. Steve Kerr met the media earlier. All everybody wants to talk about, Kelly, are resting players rather than watching the guys play. But he was pretty clear about resting players when he met the media at 5:45 tonight.
Yeah. Steve Kerr's pregame press comments really centering around that one main topic, rest versus the Bulls' record, and why, well, Kerr has said that making sure his team is rested and ready to go for the playoffs, and that will take priority. They're also still trying to secure that #1 seed in the Western Conference and home court advantage throughout the playoffs. So that is the main objective right now. But after avoiding the subject all season, saying he didn't want to talk about the Bulls' record until March, well, it's now March, and Kerr knows it's very much within reach.
Now we're right there. We're 12 games away. We need to win 10 to set the record. That's pretty enticing. And it's really the players' record. I know they want to get it. So we'll act accordingly. You know, if the players want to go and they're fine physically, we'll probably play them. If we see something, if there's an injury, if somebody's nicked up and we could potentially cause harm, and we'll sit that player down. But right now, we've been really consistent with all of that. You know, the guys who are hurt are not playing. The guys who are healthy are playing. And fortunately, right now, the goal of going for the 1 seed goes hand in hand with, you know, the record that everyone wants to talk about. So we're able to just keep trying to win.
Now, Kerr did acknowledge that some players probably could use a mental night off more than anything, but he said, hey, it's the players who are trying to set this record, so they absolutely will have a say in it. And, of course, Steph Curry, he wants to play, and we know Draymond Green wants those 73 wins. By the way, when Chicago set the mark back in 95-96, Michael Jordan played in all 82 games. He averaged just over 38 minutes and 30 points, and that was at age 33. Well, Steph Curry is just 28, also averaging 30 points in just under 34 minutes. And Papa, as you guys know, he's also set out of the fourth quarter in 18 games this season. So he's had a lot more rest than MJ back in 95.
And the only Burl from 20 years ago to play in every game was Steve Kerr. Played them all off the bench. Score alert. Tony Parker and the San Antonio Spurs. They haven't lost a home game all year. We're in their home camouflage tonight. Kyle Anderson with a nice feed to LaMarcus Aldridge here. San Antonio goes up 5 on the Miami Heat. Josh Richardson with the steal. And he'll take it all the way in for a dunk. And Miami actually took a lead. But later in the second quarter, Spurs back on top by 5. Kawhi Leonard. Great military town, San Antonio. They love David Robinson, the U.S. Naval officer. They're wearing the camouflage tonight. Leonard, 24.7 rebounds in the first half. We just read on Twitter that Kawhi went back into the Spurs locker room, and they are checking on his knee. So the big reason why he banged knees with one of the Miami Heat players, apparently, and that's why he went back in. The big reason why Steve Kerr was adamant about playing his guys here, the lead over the San Antonio Spurs, Saint, is 4 with 12 to go. Monday night was a huge swing with the Warriors winning in the Twin Cities and them coughing up a 30-7 lead in Charlotte. So 4 is nice with 12 to play, but they're not going to rest and even think about resting.
Priority. You want this home court all the way through. There's no doubt about it. Now, as we go forward and you have a chance to go after the record, players have earned that opportunity. So I don't think that the team is going to sit any guys and say, hey, you've got to sit down. They'll communicate with everybody. But back to the Spurs, they were playing Miami tonight, who's been playing very, very well. And they come in there and smoke them after getting beat the other night to Charlotte with a 30-7 lead in the first quarter. So you're going to get the best out of San Antonio until this whole thing is decided. just to your point.
All right, Kawhi Leonard back into the Spurs locker room. If we hear anything between now and the end of Warriors pregame live, we'll pass that along to you. Apparently, he banged knees with one of the members of the Miami Heat. Steph Curry and the Warriors are back home, set to begin a finishing trek where they're going to play 9 of their last 12 at Oracle Arena, 8 of the next 9 at home, and 4 in a row tonight against the L.A. Clippers. And again, if you're just joining us, we just got the news moments ago. Andrew Bogut is smiling because he's going to play after missing Saturday in San Antonio and Monday in Minneapolis. He is back. Andrew Bogut will play, and he will start for the Warriors. Warriors pregame live, presented by Metro PCS.
Cool, all the big-name athletes we've had in our car. Yeah. But honestly, it's kind of nice. Sometimes when it's just you and me, we get some quality time.
Without him here, I can lean my seat back. It's way more comfortable.
Yeah. Hey, how about the Warriors?
Oh, man, they're playing great.
Hey, you think maybe that person needs a ride?
Yeah, we could use some people in the car.
What is the mark of an organization? Championships define a team's legacy. Wins and losses define a team's success. At least success in the simplest form. But the true victories are often unseen. Basketball, like all things, has its heralds and detractors. What some miss is the escape it provides, the opportunities it creates, not only for the players, but for the fans alike. The opportunity to get away from the world, the chance to become friends with the complete strangers, if only for one night. To look around and see an ocean of brothers and sisters standing together, willing their team to victory. So yes, the numbers live on in history, but it is the small, often unnoticed moments that give the game all of its glory. For those precious few hours when anything is possible. For the unifying power of sport. This is why we play.
And make no mistake about it, he is playing tonight. Steph Curry, with some misses that were unlike him Saturday in San Antonio and Monday in Minneapolis. But Steph, despite all the conjecture that he's tired, is going to play tonight. And he was asked this morning in the Warriors shoot-around if there's been any talk about him missing an upcoming game.
No, not yet. I know last year Coach gave most of the starters a game. I don't know when it was, but around this time in Denver.
Game,
but we haven't had those conversations yet. Obviously, the goal right now, we have a lot to play for, is locking up the #1 seed and, you know, winning as many games as we can down the stretch to see if we can chase that record. But we'll see what happens.
How much do you dislike missing it? I mean, do you dislike the idea of it?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play, and every opportunity I have to do that, I want to take advantage of it. So I don't think I've ever played 82. It's like a goal of mine. Eventually, I want to try to, be one of those guys that have that durability every single night and just that consistency. I know a lot of variables that go into that, but sitting out and watching is just boring. I don't like watching games. If you have an opportunity to play in them.
Yeah, Steph has played all but 2 games this year. Dallas and Houston back-to-back in late December. He averages only 33.9 minutes a game. He runs about 2.5 miles a game. John Havlicek used to run about 5 miles a game. They got it down to feet and miles, and I'm looking for yards here, Saintly. The average speed, the thing you would look at is if he's running a little slower coming off the floppy screen of the baseline. His usage is high. Only James Harden and DeMarcus Cousins are involved more, but he's playing only 33.9 minutes a night. The big talking point in light of what Greg Popovich did a few years ago is, should you rest guys? These are young guys. Steph just turned 28, so what's your thoughts on resting Steph here at the end of the year?
Well, I like what Steph has to say. I like what Steve has to say. Bob Myers. They'll all meet together, and as long as they're winning and getting adequate rest for the guys, meaning they're not having to play 40 minutes a night, if they can play 30 and sit out that fourth period, they don't have many back-to-backs. There's only one with that Utah one, so they're going to get their rest in between games. I'd say, hey, they're in great shape.
Yeah, the last 2 games, he did not shoot the ball. But you're going to go into slumps. I mean, that's Saturday, he was 1 for 12 on threes, 4 of 18. He came back Monday in Minneapolis, and again, he had a poor shooting game. He was just 2 of 9 on threes, and he was 6 of 17 in total. So the last 2 games, Saint, he is 10 for 35 and 3 for 21 on threes. He's missed the most, had the most three-point misses in back-to-back games in his career. And you can see him being a bit heavy-legged, some decision-making. The foul on Wiggins late in the game and Monday wasn't usually Steph's laser focus, but I think being home here also is going to help. Play, day off. Don't get on an airplane again till next week. That should freshen him up by itself.
And keep in mind, his lovely wife, Aisha, probably made him one of those tremendous breakfasts this morning, so he's going to be really ready to rock and roll. I think he bounces back. This is the best player in the league. He had a little bump in the road. He's going to be fine.
And we put up the stat about the usage rate. The ball's in his hand a lot, the third most in the NBA. The beautiful thing about Steph is you can take the ball out of his hand, run him as a 2-guard, because he's kind of a hybrid point and also a 2-guard. And that's when Draymond Green comes into play. And the performance that he had Monday in Minneapolis, just fabulous. And Andrew Bogut, we were just told, is going to play tonight, but he may not play heavy minutes. And it's interesting. I would think the assist totals for Bogut, for Draymond, with Bogut not playing, would be higher. But the other night in Minneapolis, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and it was his passing, sadly, whether Bogut plays or not, and Bogut can do the same thing from the elbow up top, and we'll break it down with a straight illustrator presented by Metro PCS. He just dissected the Timberwolves defense on Monday night.
One of his very best games of the year, Pop, and he's so versatile. Now, keep an eye, he dives down into the box. They've got triangle action, 3 guys on that side of the floor. Watch the screen across here. The option is to go to back door for Steph or to come off. Draymond's the passer, gets the screen, creates space, takes the shot. And that's the beauty of having him down in the low post. Now he sets a screen weak side and he comes up top. He sees the switch. That tells him to take the small guy right down to the box, look at the 3 blue guys on the left side of the floor so there's no opportunity to switch. Now he's watching Georgie Dang to see if he comes to double team. He's late, so he takes the mouse to the house. He takes Rubio down there and scores. Now he catches it on the right side. He gets the split action again. You see the dive to the basket. Another weak side cut. Now watch this cutter right down the lane. They're going to barrel in there, and Steph reads it and gets open, but the vision. You got Draymond looking into the middle. Now, this is the beauty of him. Not in a low post. Now he can also run point forward if you want him to. But now he's over on the wing. Here he gets the switch again. And right away, he knows he's got the switch because they're switching everything. He just takes the mismatch right to the rim. Pop, this is the beauty of Draymond Green. You can put him anywhere you want. As you said, you can run him point forward. You can make him, if Bogues doesn't play much, he can take Jordan away from the basket and slice him up. If there's a smaller guy, he takes him down the box. He scores or slices that guy up. So this guy is so important to the Warriors' offense, as well as the whole picture.
February the 20th at Staples Center, Bogut did not play, and they went to the small lineup to start. Brandon Rush started. Bogut is back tonight, but you can still go to the small lineup because DeAndre Jordan has to come out and get him, so you're taking the shot blocker away. The passing and the way he ran the offense, he just dissected their offense again like a point guard would at point forward.
Point power forward, vision, sees everybody on the floor, all 9 other people. That's the beauty of his game, and with Draymond playing really at a high level again, and you know your 2 guards are going to step it up, look for a big performance tonight from the Warriors.
All right, we just got an update on the injury involving the Spurs superstar Kawhi Leonard. It's a quadriceps injury. He banged knees, but apparently was up on the quad muscle. He's not going to play anymore. They were up big, so we'll we'll have to monitor that. But that it's certainly not as problematic from their perspective as a knee, Saint. But that could still be something they have to look at.
Well, anytime your best player goes down, you're cringing and hoping he's going to be okay.
Well, Blake Griffin had a quadriceps injury. He tore his quad, his left quad, on December the 25th, and he hasn't come back since. Bogut's back. DeAndre Jordan, we've been robbed. Is that what he's saying?
We've been robbed.
In 2014, Golden State lost a gut-wrenching Game 7 to the Clippers, proving there was no doubt who held the upper hand in this contentious rivalry. The last two seasons have seen the Dubs retake the advantage over not only LA, but the entire league. Tonight, as the Warriors chase history, the Clip Show once again stands in their way. It's passionate, it's feisty, and it's right now. The beginning of the final dozen games, 4 straight at home, and the Warriors' biggest rival in town. Bring on the Clippers. Chase for history begins. And this is the fans, the players, the matchup. Bring it on tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett, and I look forward to Clipper games. Before the season starts, you circle these on the schedule.
Everyone does. It's emotional. It's physical. It's doggone entertaining.
And the 3 previous have been competitive. Maybe the Clippers play the Warriors better than any team in the NBA. All 3 games, part of the AT&T U-verse Rewind, these teams know each other.
Well, they're so familiar with all the personnel. They've been in a 7-game series in the playoffs. They know where the ball's going in the 4th quarter, and yet these guys are so talented with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and their point guard, Chris Paul. You just can't do anything about those stars. You can't stop them, and we've had terrific finishes in all 3 games.
Warriors get a little beef, a little healthy. Andrew Bogut will play tonight, but Steph Curry, is it a mini slump? 3 of 21 on threes the last 2 games. He saves his best for his mentor and Chris Paul. Highlights that have to be seen to be believed, have to be rewatched over and over. Curry versus the Clippers. Can they sweep LA? The Warriors, the Clippers coming your way. Greg and Gary back in the studio right after this.
Warriors are back at home, 9 of their final 12 inside the friendly confines of Oracle Arena. Tonight they begin a stretch where they're going to play 8 of 9 at home, and a 4-game homestand begins tonight against the LA Clippers. Beat LA, sweep LA, St. Lee. How do they beat LA tonight?
There's going to be a lot of scoring from both backcourts, but I think the Warriors have to dominate the front court matchups. Look at their forwards to start. Paul Pierce, Ma Mute. We've got a scoring advantage there, without a doubt. Now, they'll bring in Wesley Johnson, and they'll bring in Green, who they got from Memphis, who's like this. We don't know what he's going to do. He's a very capable scorer, and Aldridge comes in at backup center. We need to take care of business right up in the front, so it's going to be in the trenches tonight that we get it done.
All right, Warriors trying to extend the home winning streak to 51, dating back to last year, and get to 33-0 at home. And again, no team in the history of the league has ever gone undefeated for an entire regular season during all their home games, trying to get to 41-0. J.J. Redick's going to get up one last shot before the player introductions. It's coming. Enjoy it. Warriors Clippers are next.
It's time for tip-off. Here's Spitz and JB.
All right, MVP. Sold out Oracle. Get used to it. 9 of the final 12 in this building. We'll bring you the final dozen each and every game right here on CSN Bay Area. And the Clippers for the 4th and final time. But the way the seedings work, Jim, they could see the Warriors in the 2nd round of the playoffs if everything held to form. And is Curry really in a slump? Or does he bust out tonight?
We didn't have time to talk about it, but I have a strong suspicion that he is going to have one whale of a game tonight. Remember the mid-game back in November 19th, he had 40. Chris Paul had 35 in that game. It is a great matchup for the point guard.
Our Xfinity starting lineup first for the Dubs with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut is in the starting lineup. Chris Paul, J.J. Redick, Paul Pierce, Luke Richard Mbah-a-Moute with DeAndre Jordan for Doc Rivers. Yeah, all three games have been competitive. The Clippers have given the Warriors all they would want, and yet it's always been the Warriors on top at the end. So Bogut back. Also, Andre Iguodala was moving around nicely in pregame. That's a good sign down the road for the Warriors, getting some of the walking wounded in uniform.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Bogut back. He was questionable up until just before game time.
Zach Zarba, Kevin Cutler, Michael Smith. You have two crew chiefs doing the game tonight. This is almost a playoff crew.
I really respect Michael Smith. 61 years old, been around a long time.
Shot clock at 3.
What a great demeanor he has as an official.
Chris Paul misfiring, and Draymond with a rebound.
Let's see how they run the offense.
Klay Thompson will work on Redick.
Just important early in the game to keep the ball moving.
Klay off iron, and Chris Paul pushing.
Don't go to isolations early on.
Klay Thompson, he had the deflection. Chris Paul threw him to the ground. Harrison Barnes is fouled. I'll tell you what, you don't see Klay get angry. He was not pleased with the little throwdown after he deflected that ball. And Chris Paul can get very physical.
Well, he doesn't like the turnover. And so he's just trying to scramble back and get Klay out of the picture. And there's a little do-si-do.
Yeah, I mean, Klay got up and said, hey, what are we doing here? Harrison Barnes with the first free throw. And Doc Rivers, remember him pumping his fist after Game 7 of the playoff series victory over the Warriors. This is a rivalry that has just been ratcheted up year by year. And the games have been entertaining and competitive and hotly contested. Barnes splitting a pair. Chris Paul finding Mbah-a-Moute, and he lays it up and in.
One of the rare times I've ever seen Andrew Bogut leave his feet. He normally has impeccable timing and discipline.
This trip down, Chris Paul has Klay. Draymond to a cutting Curry, but the shot blocker Jordan is there.
Look at him come out on him, but that's a mistake.
He got around him, and Barnes missed the layup. DeAndre Jordan will leap all the time. As you say, Jim, leapers like to leap.
Yeah, I'm surprised Barnes left his feet. Another half second, he'd have had it down. But Redick, who's off to his best ever year. He's having his best shooting year, best average year.
You round up to 49% on threes. That's how good J.J. Redick is. And Steph Curry got whacked in the head. Mbah-a-Moute will pick up the foul. And if you want to watch something tonight as a fan, watch the way the Clippers defend Curry off the ball. They know people are watching when he has the ball, but they grab and clutch and bang and bump him off the ball a lot.
I don't think anyone holds him more than Chris Paul in any matchup in the NBA.
Klay Thompson on the step back.
Ball isn't moving early on here. They missed a couple of cheapies inside, and in the half court, we've seen ISOs.
Chris Paul, feet set, missing that three, but a long rebound. This game currently is at the Clipper pace. They want to walk it up and kind of grind the Warriors in the half court. Redick setting up DeAndre Jordan. Bogut met him at the top, but fouled him. It's not a bad play, given that DeAndre Jordan shoots 44% from the line.
Well, Draymond Green played Redick physically, but just like Curry did when he went around Jordan, he created the mismatch inside, and Bogut had to foul him.
Well, DeAndre Jordan shoots 29% of their free throws at 44%.
Well, he gets fouled an awful lot.
The rest of the Clippers shoot 80%. Misfiring there. Friday will be an authentic Fan Friday. With the Mavericks in town, Andre Iguodala Collector Series cheer card presented by CSN Bay Area. 888-GSW-HOOP here Friday night for Nowitzki and the Mavs. And Jordan splitting a pair.
Jordan, you saw that rebounding average, 13-9. That's what it was last year. He led the league. But Andre Drummond is 14-9 this year, so he's not going to win the rebound title. He plays hard every night. I like DeAndre Jordan. He works hard.
Bogut has Paul Pierce. They're trying to find Clay, and there is his first field goal. Ball moved better that trip down.
That's the way they need to make 4 or 5 passes just early on to get everybody on the same page. It just works a little better symphony that way.
Pierce going to try to post up Steph initially. Curry stayed down, stole the ball. Curry in a foot race. Stephen Curry to lay it up and in.
Oh, Paul Pierce, age 38. Sometimes you think you're moving quickly and you think you have an advantage, and you don't know that. He'll learn that as he gets into his 40s and plays some little pickup ball at the YMCA. Your mind tells you you're still moving quickly, but Father Time catches up.
Chris Paul, tremendous mid-range shooter. Perfect guy to have with the shot clock winding down. Klay Thompson passed low. Tried to get it to Barnes. Pierce was ready for that. Nice steal. Draymond reaching in.
So Paul, little step back and just exposed the ball. And Curry did a smart thing going on the side. Just picked the pocket clean.
And then Pierce went to the veteran move and flailed his arms, hoping he would get something. And he didn't. Redick flat. These long rebounds are hurting the Warriors.
They got to run him off the line, and the same thing when Jamal Crawford comes in. Run him off the three-point line.
Steph with the crossover. Steph, the high floating pass. Bogut saved the turnover. Draymond misfiring on the three. So the Warriors have opened very cold at 2 of 6.
Well, you can see they're trying to do the right things now. Ooh, that's a tough call. Carl?
Now, Steph may have been moving, but the way Chris Paul shoved with the free arm, that's normally going to be an offensive foul right there.
Well, you can still be moving, but if you get there in time, Kevin Cutler called it.
DeAndre Jordan, I don't think you've ever seen him dribble into the lane like that. Sent away by Bogut. Draymond, what a finish.
Well, he can bowl people over, can Draymond, but then he pulled up there nicely with a little finesse, and that's what he's gaining more and more this year. Redick leads the league in three-point shooting. They're lucky he missed again.
And that's a good word, lucky. At 49%, he was wide open there. Draymond's coming off that 10 of 13 night. Entry pass into Harrison, who was more patient with the shot blocker there.
Yeah, and I like what he did. He went up. He was going to get that shot blocked. Went to his left hand. So then DeAndre Jordan could not come through his body. Had enough height on it.
Redick's getting all he can eat. Chris Paul is going to go for the steal. Draymond changed speeds. Bamute fouled him. That's some great ball handling from your power forward.
Well, you better be ready to play when you play Draymond Green, because he just eats people up if they don't hustle back on defense. He takes advantage, and he's relentless and never gives up in it. Crossover dribble there, got fouled by Chris Paul, didn't bother him, and he just took it right to the teeth of the defense in Luc Mbah a Moute.
How many power forwards at full speed are going to go between the legs against the guy who's led the league in steals and then get to the rim and get fouled? Draymond Green, that was special right there.
Really was. Especially with Chris Paul, who's reaching in for a little pick.
Yes.
He's very good at it.
So Wesley Johnson comes in for offense. Mbah a Moute, the good defender, will sit.
How good is Chris Paul? He leads the league in steals per game.
He does. And he's done it multiple years.
It just tells you about this young man's confidence now. And expertise.
In Minnesota, he led the Warriors in scoring and rebounding, did Draymond Green.
Well, he won the game for him.
He did.
He carried them.
Ball went at Bogut. Andrew timed it nicely, got a piece. Curry three. Out back iron. Good ball movement by the Clippers. Jeff Green unable to hit from the corner. Draymond slipped that screen and drew another foul.
Warriors are getting their shots. They just haven't gone down for them.
But on the other end, you're holding LA to 3 of 12 shooting.
Even better. Even better.
So Wesley Johnson and Jeff Green checking in here. And Green's going to take a turn on Clay. And that leaves Draymond on Redick. Draymond pinned by DeAndre Jordan. Wesley Johnson on the other end to dunk it down. What a play.
I've always liked Wesley Johnson. I just think that he's been an underachiever. I think he could have been so much better. I've talked about him for years. What a body he has for the game.
Steph curling out the mid-range.
Very close to goaltending on that previous play when he got pinned to the backboard.
You can take it to the board. You can't touch it once it hits the board.
That's exactly what he did. That's a terrific finish by Bob Moute. He also got fouled on the body.
Jeff Green with the left hand.
Jeff Green, sorry. Traded for Lance Stevenson. Memphis at the trade.
Both teams, the energy defensively, you can feel it. Steph to Clay, had to come back down with the ball. Harrison, time, space, and Bogut will track it down. Curry, there it is. Steph Curry hitting the three. A lot has been made. 3 for his last 21 from distance. And 1 of 2 so far tonight, and the continuing NBA record.
Next goal, bring along Harrison Barnes from three-point range.
So Doc Rivers will stop it. Both teams feeling each other out. Good defensive intensity both ways. Draymond learning all the different finishes. And Harrison patient inside.
Harrison Barnes and watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Warrior lead at 1 with 4:50 remaining in the first. Our Lexus pursuit of perfection. The man on the big board, my partner for the past 2 decades. This date in Warrior history, 45 years ago, Jim Barnett was acquired from the Portland Trail Blazers.
I had no idea. And you know what's ironic about that? The season was over. March 23rd, the season was over already.
Now, they had just had a nice in-arena video tribute. And they had some sweet finishes in the playoffs.
I'll tell you, best thing that ever happened to me, getting traded here from Portland. I thought Portland was great, going to the University of Oregon. Married a girl from Portland, Sandy, of course. But then coming to California, our lives got even better.
Well, I will tell you, as good a player as you were, you're a better broadcaster. And you've been doing it for 3 decades.
Thank you.
Top
very
shelf.
Much. I love it. I'll tell you that. It's a privilege.
And Jeff Green hitting that 3.
It's a privilege with this team especially.
Green could be the X factor for the Clippers, Jim. I mean, if he could be another supplementary scorer.
Well, they weren't playing Stevenson. It's a really great trade for them.
Green appeared to knock that out of bounds, but they'll rule it off of Spates. Little quizzical as the Warriors run back. So Chris Paul and Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal Crawford in with Wesley Johnson. And you got to watch Crawford right at the very beginning. As streaky as he is, you do not want him heating up at the beginning.
You'd like to make him miss his first 2 or 3 because he'll keep shooting.
Chris Paul has Harrison Barnes on a switch. A very deep 3. And Curry with the rebound. Barbosa's first playing time. Harrison in among the trees. And DeAndre Jordan changed it. Chris Paul, what a save. Green on Green. And this time Jeff Green wins the battle.
He's got a lot of talent. He's better at going to the basket in the open court like that. Otherwise, he opts for jump shots half court.
Barbosa with a 3. Well, here's where Doc Rivers is happy. Paul and Redick are 2 of 10, and yet the Clippers are leading. Crawford, and he makes his first, and you start to get nervous. Jamal has 50-point games with 3 different franchises, including when he was a Warrior.
See, Mo can't make the play up top like Green can after the double team on Stephen. But he can do this.
DeAndre Jordan's going to leave him alone, even though Spates has become a 40% three-point shooter.
He'll get some opportunities tonight, won't he?
Chris Paul saying, why is Harrison Barnes always guarding me? Jeff Green will get to the line. Jeff Green has hurt the Warriors here. Already with 7 in 4 minutes off the bench. Free throws coming with 2:43 remaining in the first, and the Clippers up 3.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors trail the Clippers by 3. Today is a milestone day for Shaun Livingston. It's his 146th game played as a Golden State Warrior, the most games he's ever played for any one team of all 9 teams that he's suited up for. Shaun told me it took perseverance and letting go. He was once the number 4 draft pick out of high school in 2004. He had to let go of a gruesome knee injury he suffered in 2007 and all the shoulda, woulda, couldas that come with that. And his athleticism changed. He had to lean on his IQ and pick his spots. He reflected on playing for the Warriors, and he said the championship banner makes him part of something forever, and that is most meaningful. And he added, I was a champion before the banner, but the banner certified it.
And that is one of our favorite guys in Shaun Livingston and all he has overcome, and the way he's persevered.
Yep.
And now the Warriors, the most games played out of the 9 teams he played for. He's a Warrior forever, and he's right.
With that debilitating injury that he had, though, he was almost going to lose his leg. He still has incredible hops. He's like a pogo stick. He told me the other day, he said, you know, he plays for wins. He doesn't play for stats, and that he's so unselfish. He doesn't care whether he scores 2 points, 6 points, whatever. He just looks to win and do the best thing. I like him on the floor.
Jeff Green has 9 of the Clippers' 21. Curry right down the lane. He got there before DeAndre Jordan could get him.
He knows how to squeeze through the cracks and rarely gets a shot blocked.
What's interesting is even though Jordan is such a premier shot blocker, the Warriors are 4th in the league in block shots, and the Clippers are 10th. Oh, Draymond just took it away. What a steal. And Barbosa flying to the rim.
Don't you love a 32-year-old that can run like that? And he has a sense of the moment. He sees a steal, and his transition is immediate.
Was Ponce de Leon from Brazil?
No, I think he was from Spain.
I said that rhetorically. Fountain of youth.
I know where he did. Down in Florida. I understand all that.
And Livingston holding on to Jamal Crawford. It's amazing.
Well, he got tired of Jeff Green getting all the plaudits. Maybe Ponce de Leon was from Portugal. How's that sound? Portuguese sounds better to me. I don't know, though.
You know what? Tie it all together. They speak Portuguese in Brazil.
Yes,
it's the native tongue of that country. Is it easier to guard Jamal Crawford to keep the ball out of his hands? Because once he gets it, he gets to the line. He's got the good handle. He can shoot over you.
Very tough to get the ball out of his hands, though, because he goes way out. He'll go out to half court just to get the ball. And he's so quick. That little body of his, he's so lithe. Tough to keep it out of his hands. Although, I'd really overplay him because I don't see him go backdoor that often.
Speaking of backdoor, Livingston on the baseline. Setting up Mo Spates. The baby hook off iron.
He tried to clear space by jamming that left shoulder into DeAndre Jordan. He got the space, just could not convert.
There's Austin Rivers getting his first playing time. Wesley Johnson misfiring, and Draymond just batted away from DeAndre Jordan. Let one of your guards go get the rebound. Barbosa couldn't quite finish. Crawford, nice feed inside. This has been a perfect quarter for Doc Rivers. Chris Paul doesn't have it going. Redick doesn't have it going. His bench has 17 of their 25, and they have the lead.
Now, I like what Crawford did there. It's a 3-on-3. And, you know, when the court, you make it bigger when you have fewer people on it. So he's going to exploit that. He went right to the basket, made people defending, then he dished it off. That's a smart play, and that's what you should do.
So Austin Rivers committing the foul. There's nothing worse in an NBA game than having your dad yell at you.
I'm not sure I'd want to play for my dad.
Well, you would
Really?
if he's the GM, as Doc is.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that puts a lot of pressure on you from your teammates.
I tell you, I want to see what the contract negotiations are like. Dad, let's go have dinner. I think I deserve a 5-year deal. And there is Austin Rivers. Is firing out of the corner, and Spates with a rebound.
Rivers just still only a 29% three-point shooter.
Steph missing that three.
And he has to improve his jump shot. 1 year of college. That's what surprised me about Austin Rivers at Duke.
He played with Seth Curry for that 1 year.
Very good.
Steph's brother. There's a 4-second game shot clock difference. I'm telling you, Crawford is rolling already, and that is a bad sign for the Warriors. Final 3 seconds. Curry dribbled the 94 feet. Where was the defense?
I don't know whether he thought he could not get all the way, but he knew exactly where the clock was because he took a little extra time to go up and get it to the rim.
But Doc Rivers sees the Warriors held to 41% shooting. His bench goes for 20. The Clippers haven't beat the Warriors, but they're up 5 at the end of 1. Beginning the second quarter, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood A with you. Hey, Jim, at the end of the quarter, stop the ball. Stop the ball.
Well, maybe they thought he was going to shoot a half-court shot.
Hey, stop the ball. Wait, the MVP's got it. Stop the ball.
And Wesley Johnson did not choose to step in front from the side there, from the elbow at all. I mean, I don't understand it. And Steph Curry went all the way. But how about the Clippers bench? 20 of the 28 points. The Warriors starters outscored their starters 18-8, but the bench was terrific for Doc Rivers.
Well, the key to that first quarter, the Warriors were 4 of 6 in transition, but 5 of 16 in the half court. The tempo is going to decide this game.
Yep, you've got to rebound, defend, rebound, and run.
So Brandon Rush first playing time with Livingston, Barnes, Spates, and Barbosa, and a block by Cole Aldrich. He looked like DeAndre Jordan there.
Terrific pursuit. Leandro thought he was home free, as did I.
Well, for the past couple of years, it's always been the Clipper bench that has come up short. Not tonight. Austin Rivers missing the layup when we check in with Roz.
JB, you said the Warriors have to defend, rebound, and run. Well, that's exactly what Coach Kerr said as well. He said they have to notch up the defense here. They're running it through Crawford, and he wants them to rebound so they can get out in transition.
They're able to push there, and Sean following the miss. You can't leave Jamal Crawford the way he has started the game. Missing there.
It's just hard to get through screens he just goes so quickly to get to the ball.
Now Harrison finding space. He's not going to be guarded out there. If he hits at 40%, the Warriors are going to be in great shape.
I was going to say, why not just keep testing that for him at the top of the circle? He likes it there.
Barbosa with a nice steal. Brandon Rush wasn't quite ready for it, so the Warriors got to settle down. Get in the front court. Feed Mo inside, and the layup rims out.
All the time in the world. Aldridge got caught up inside. Nonetheless, but I'm not sure he would try to come out.
We always show the shot, but the Warriors set good screens. As you said, they had Aldridge pinned, and he made no effort to get out to Spates. And Mo with a recovery in the block. Our man, no buckets. Shot clock at 8. Harrison's got Crawford. I mean, this is a Warrior matchup advantage. The double comes and he throws it away. Rivers will lay it in. That's very unfortunate. Steve Kerr is going to use a timeout right now. Harrison Barnes should be able to own Jamal Crawford on the block. 9.5 remaining in the first half, and the Clippers still maintain the lead. Warrior basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. Come in for a free nutrition evaluation today. Part of the Steph Curry warm-up that everybody comes to see. Clippers up a deuce with 9.5 remaining in the first half. Our Geico Advanced Analytic, Klay Thompson had the oddest game in Minnesota you'll ever see.
Yes, he did.
Made all of his threes, missed all of his twos.
It was very odd.
I just don't see that.
That's why I said early in the game, at least in the second quarter, I said, forget the twos, just set him up for threes. And he continued the entire game. And they needed every one of them that night.
Livingston rising and drawing the foul. So Austin Rivers. Now Rivers earlier, Jim, took a spill. It was in some distress on the bench. It's good for the Clippers that he was able to stay in the game, but...
Is that when he converted the layup?
Is that he fell awkwardly on the layup, just as you mentioned. But we followed him to the bench, and he was not doing well.
One thing about Rivers, when he does that, you're right. He's a 2-foot jumper. There's no need to come to a complete stop there. He should just go off 1 foot. You know, Stephen Curry most of the time goes off 1, makes you more efficient. Sometimes he'll go 2, but that one did not call for 2, and glad to see Rivers back on the floor. But there's no reason for him to even stop and give Mo Spates a chance to catch up.
Impressed with the Clippers reserves. Their bench has been wanting the last couple of years. Harrison Barnes.
Boy, am I glad to see that.
Hitting the three. Harrison now with 6. Curry with 9. Jeff Green is leading everybody, but missing there. Aldridge fighting for that rebound and it knocked away.
He's improved. It looks good tonight. Anyway.
Harrison made 1. Make it 2. He did 2 threes over a 7-game span. Now he makes 2 in 20 seconds. Wesley Johnson trying to answer. Barnes with a rebound. Livingston has Aldridge on him on a switch.
He'd like to drive him.
He goes at him. He rises and finishes.
He just sized up the situation perfectly.
Clippers take time.
And that's doing, essentially, taking what the defense will give you. He wanted to go all the way, but instead he pulled up. And Harrison Barnes has pulled up twice for 6 points on 2 shots.
16-4 run, and the Warriors up 7. Warrior lead at 7 with 7:51 remaining in the half. Our Taco Bell hysteria moment. Have you been following the Warriors and the Clippers over the years? There's been a few altercations, some ejections, a few fracases, a 7-game series in the playoffs. They see each other 4 times a year, and I think they're the biggest Warrior rival. Curry has put on some pyrotechnics that had to be seen to be believed, and the Warriors have won 6 of the last 7 meetings.
They've had their number. They've had their number in this quarter, by the way. 2 of 7 shooting for the Clips. Warriors 6 of 9, including 3 of 4 from 3-point range. This will happen. Well, how about 3 of 8? He isn't going to miss that one very often. Their defense has been a lot better here.
The cagey Paul Pierce. Livingston finding Brandon Rush. Bogut sneaking in for the board. They'll throw it back out on a fresh 24. Klay Thompson back in. Chris Paul back in. Stepped out of bounds on the sideline.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was a moving screen by Andrew Bogut. A violation. It just should not happen. That's just careless. You come around and the ball's not to you. You've got to make sure you stay in bounds because the ball can be in your hands any second.
Oh, he does. Draymond and Stephen Curry at the scorer's table. Andre Jordan post up. That looked pretty good. Created his own offense there. Shot clock at 10. Clay spacing out. Left Pierce in the dust and buried a three.
Well, that pass is completed for Bogut because Pierce is never looking at the ball.
Klay Thompson's first three. They're cutting Redick. Nice finish. Clippers are playing at a very high level tonight. Their energy level after two really ugly weekend losses on the road. But a couple days to gather. Livingston curling it out. High screen roll. Chris Paul can shoot it. He can set up Jordan. He can throw the lob, but Bogut was ready for it. Pierce missing the three. Paul Pierce is at a rough shooting year, Jim. At 35% from the field, 31% from distance.
And they acquired him for just the opposite of that. Stand still, catch and shoot, three-point, dependable shooter.
They can't get it into Harrison Barnes on Crawford. The Warriors are missing that opportunity. And this time it's Clay on Crawford. He shoots right over. Jamal Crawford's not a good defender, and the Warriors are trying to find him everywhere.
But I'll tell you what, he did as much as he could there with Klay Thompson. Klay had to change the arc of that shot, but he's so good at it. I mean, that ball went about 18 feet in the air.
Backdoor cut. Jordan couldn't finish. And Crawford is fouled, shooting a three.
Well, they just gave him too much room.
No one in the NBA has more four-point plays than Jamal Crawford.
Well, let's look at this three-point shot that the Warriors had. Well, there's the one from Crawford.
He just has a knack of drawing contact. And Sean got him right on the wrist. So Crawford already with 10 off the bench to lead the Clippers. Now you're Doc Rivers. You're getting 10 from Crawford and 9 from Jeff Green. A rare free throw miss from an excellent free throw shooter. Chris Paul smelled that out. A rare turnover. Clipper team that's third in turnovers, Jim. When Chris Paul's running a team, they don't have a lot of giveaways.
Ten assists per game, less than 3 turnovers, close to 3 for Chris Paul.
Draymond setting the screen. Curry step back three. Stephen, after 3 of 21, is 1 of 4 tonight, and the lob to Jordan.
I'll tell you, they're finding Jordan in this quarter, and he is playing offensive basketball. This is a bonus for them. He got 7 points, 10 rebounds.
Oh, Bogut finding Curry. Beautiful delivery.
Typical Clippers Warriors game, right?
Very high level. I think
swings here and there.
I think the Clippers reserves are the big story here. Redick with a pump fake. I mean, Redick and Chris Paul aren't hurting the Warriors. It's the other unsung heroes getting it done. Clay with the flyby. That's a three he's going to make. a huge percentage of the time. Lob again. Jordan is fouled.
They're looking for the big fella.
DeAndre Jordan has 7. Jeff Green with 9. Jamal Crawford with 10. Redick and Chris Paul have 5 and 2.
You got to get a body on Jordan at the top, right around that free throw line area, so he can't just have clear sailing to the rim. Easier said than done. You're trying to give help. You switch a little bit. He takes advantage, but you've got to get contact with him before he gets airborne.
Jordan missing the free throw. The Warriors have expanded their stock of jerseys. Every player, every style. Signs for every man, woman, and child in Dub Nation, including the Chinese heritage jerseys. All at Warriors.com. DeAndre Jordan, year 8 out of Texas A&M. 5th pick in the 2nd round in 2008. And I think the story of the offseason, Jim, what if he had stayed and signed with Dallas? What if he had not rescinded that verbal commitment? It altered 2 teams.
They probably wouldn't be playing Dirk Nowitzki at center this late in the season.
And the Clippers would not be 43 and 26.
That's fair to say, too.
Because with Blake Griffin's injuries,
yeah,
they've played exceptionally well without their all-stars.
26 and 13.
Yep. Shot clock at 3. Harrison on the cut. And there's a foul. Jordan will pick it up. 2:42 remaining in the first half. Okay, centers in the NBA. You play with Chris Paul, you can finish the lob. You play with Bogut, one of the best passing big men in the league.
Spot for the Golden State apparel you should know. Snapbacks, beanie caps, hoodies, blue and gold. Reppin' my team, got the city on my sleeve in the all-star jersey with the championship ring. All the fans in the Bay, rockin' that slate in the brand new Steph. Draymond and Clay for the latest Golden State fashion going on. You can find it on Warriors.com.
Stephen Curry, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Warrior basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. And super competitive when the Warriors play the Clippers, and tonight no exception. With the Dubs up a pair. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. I think this is where you figure out the quality teams in the NBA. All right, the best records versus the top 11. The Warriors are 20-1. That loss to the Spurs. Toronto, San Antonio, Cleveland, and OKC. There's only 4 teams that have a winning record against the top 11. Clippers 8-14. Makes the Warriors' record within their record even more amazing. The animated Glenn Doc Rivers.
Now whenever you want, you get jerseys for every player and every style, size for every man, woman, and kid in Dub Nation. Stock the largest selection of Warriors jerseys at Warriors.com.
Clippers had the 5-point lead at the end of one. They had a 7-point lead at one point. Warriors responded with a 16-4 run to take a 7-point lead of their own. But LA's bench right now, 27 points of their 44.
We'll talk about the Warriors' depth. When they get it going, they've got a lot of depth.
Yep.
I agree with you. Jeff Green is a terrific pickup. They weren't playing Stevenson anyway.
Also, Doc Rivers is experimenting here. When you have Redick, Crawford, and Paul together, Paul Pierce becomes the power forward. And so, you said, fourth and final meeting, these teams may meet in the playoffs. Doc Rivers says, all right, if I put Pierce as a stretch four, what may happen here? A lot of three-point shooting on the floor, and it opens up for the backdoor cut.
You could see that one coming.
Waited for the final 2:20 of the half to spring this version of the Clipper lineup. Harrison runs into Jordan, who commits the foul. Be DeAndre's second.
See, you have the whole, let's run this ahead right here a little bit, and we're going to stop it. All the middle is open, and so you get someone turning their head, you don't see the ball, and you get a running start.
Jordan jumped out on Curry. Steph for the ball handling, shot clock at 3. Curry, step back 3, good. There isn't a big in the league that can hang with Curry at the three-point line. He's going to dice you up on that switch every time. Curry knocking it away. And out of bounds to the Clippers. Jim, you always say the little man can beat the big man on the perimeter.
Yep.
And the worst you get is a jump shot.
You can always get a jump shot. You can always get a jump shot. And Stephen Curry can get a jump shot on anyone.
There's Paul, ticking iron. Livingston. You just see Paul stop the break right there.
With a little help from J.J. Redick, by the way.
Curry, little heat check. Steph just, for him, slumping at 6 of 11 from the field.
2 for 6 from 3. I'd like to see him get 2 or 3 of those threes in a row. What we've been accustomed to this whole season.
Don't reach to Jamal Crawford.
Oh, he's a live wire, isn't he?
Missing there. Harrison walled off DeAndre Jordan so Draymond could get the ball. Good work by Harrison Barnes there. Final minute of an intense first half, and Crawford with the steal. Chris Paul running into people. Now, I'll tell you what you have tonight, Jim, that's nice. When you have Michael Smith and Zach Zarba, 2 crew chiefs, and Kevin Cutler's a good young official, this is being officiated like a playoff game because it's really a playoff officiating crew.
Chris Paul went to the hoop there not to make the basket, but to get a foul. And there was no foul. He initiated the contact. Now he's talking to Kevin Cutler. He doesn't want to talk to one of the crew chiefs.
Just see how Zach is. I mean, he's trying to get a foul there.
He just comes right in.
He's trying to get a foul there.
Draymond keeps giving ground, and he did not get the whistle.
And that is the kind of playoff basketball you'll see. You're not going to get bailed out in those situations. But for the Clippers, their bench is keeping them in the game. And for the Warriors, their bench gave them the lead back. And the starters just trying to finish off the half.
Well, this is typical. Clippers and Warriors are going to battle. There are going to be swings both ways. There are going to be some mistakes. There are going to be great plays. You're going to see a lot of physicality inside. The Warriors have to continue to try to push the pace. They have an advantage in the open court.
And you're going to see some experimenting with Steve and Doc. That open set with the 4 3-point shooters and the backdoor cut. I don't think I've seen the Clippers run that before.
No, it's and it caught him by surprise. Certainly cost Klay Thompson that hoop.
Warriors shooting 46%, Clippers 45. Warriors 7 of 16 on threes, Clippers 4 of 14.
These are 2 very good NBA teams.
2 of the top 6 scoring teams in the league.
Hard to get a big advantage.
Draymond setting up Curry. You see the rotation. Steph on the reload.
You know, after he did a little up fake, he had the shot. Then he looked and thought there may be something better because there were 3 men around him. And I believe that threw off his launch.
Now the Warriors do have a foul to give here.
Are they aware of it?
Here's for 3, and that's the shots they signed him for.
They weren't aware. Or at least they couldn't execute it.
Shot clock off, and the Warriors will play for 1.
That's a costly mistake. To let them hit a 3 when you have a foul to give.
Draymond to end the half. And for the Clippers,
Doc Rivers has to like it.
They had the 7-point lead. The Warriors went up 7. LA closes with a flurry. And a hotly contested game. Everything we expected at 51-49 at the break. And so Steph Curry with 14, and he's alongside Roz.
Steph, Chris Paul is so crafty out of the pick and roll. What's the best strategy you guys are trying against that?
Just keeping 5 guys on the string and try to make decisions in the crowd.
and hopefully they don't get easy open looks.
And when you see their big or DeAndre Jordan switch on to you, what are you thinking in those moments?
Take my time and make a play. It's kind of been a gimmick defense people playing the last couple of games, so you just got to be aggressive, try to take a good shot and put the pressure on the bigs to guard on the perimeter.
All right, thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
Guys.
What's scary, Roz, is that Steph has the 14-2 advantage over Chris Paul, and yet the Warriors are only up 2 at halftime. Greg and Gary in the studio for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Coming up next.
It was 28-21 Clippers. Steph Curry, a driving 94-foot layup to end the first quarter. They jumped him 16-4 to start the second quarter, and the Warriors have the halftime lead only by 2. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, welcome to Warriors Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. We talk about Steph just about every halftime. Can we change it up a little bit? Harrison Barnes, he made a couple of threes. He's starting to make his 3 balls, St. Lee. 3 for 6 floor, made 3 free throws and scored 11 points in that first half.
Well, they tried to hide a small. They went to him in the post, but that's what I love. He just caught it and shot it. There was no thinking involved. Very good rhythm. He knocked another one down. Beautiful pass from Rush. Kept the ball moving. That's his favorite place, that right corner. That's what we need more of from Harrison Barnes.
HB was the Warriors' second leading scorer to the guy we always talk about. And I love the driving layup to end the first quarter, but I know you love this play.
Mismatch. Small, getting to big. Bada bing,
step back
step
3
back.
over DJ. I think DJ was robbed, St. Lee. Is he robbed? Well, minus Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, and J.J. Redick, the Clippers' 2 leading scorers, St. Lee, combined to shoot just 4 of 15 from the floor in the first half.
Jeff Green and Jamal Crawford played very well, and look for the Warriors to clamp down defense and get in the open floor.
All right, we'll see you afterwards on Honda Warriors Postgame Live.
Our Jack in the Box at the half with the Warriors up 2, and you hear people say a lot, it's an even ball game. Well, tonight, field goals, turnovers, free throws, rebound difference of 1. I'd say it's an even ball game.
That's why it is a 2-point basketball game. Thanks for turning on the mic here. But that's what this is all about. These are 2 terrific teams that could meet in the second round of the playoffs, and they're both, you know, high intensity, high level, emotional basketball teams, well officiated.
The Clippers getting great productivity from DeAndre Jordan. For the Warriors, Klay Thompson does not have double digits, but Harrison Barnes does. And the KFC Nashville Hot Shot Chart, brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's not only that Harrison has 11, Jim, but 2 of those are threes.
No, it's nice to do because he'd been so dry over about 7 or 8 games, and only making 2. Made 2 in a row tonight. The Warriors played pretty good defense in that second half, or that second quarter, I should say. They just slowed down everybody, held them to 21 points. And they finally found their 3-point shooting, making 5 of 10 in the second quarter.
Warriors starters have the big advantage, but Doc Rivers gets 27 off the bench, and that's why the Clippers are in the ball game. 2-point lead. The Warriors' 50-game home winning streak is on the line with the third quarter on the way. Getting ready to start the second half with the Warrior lead at 2. Moments ago, Roz Gold-Onwude caught up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach, both benches gave a boost. How critical is the battle of the bench today?
Well, we're looking for that spark. It's the first game back after a road trip. We're looking for some energy, some guys that come in and produce and give us a lift when they get in the game. I thought Mo and LB did a fantastic job, and Jeff Green for them hit a couple threes, and we've got to limit their effectiveness and just get back at it.
As a coaching staff, what are the shots you're encouraging Steph Curry to look for as he fights his way back into a rhythm?
Any shot, he's open once he crosses half court. Look, at the end of the day, he's too good a shooter not to find his rhythm. We can do a really good job of setting screens and getting him some clean looks out on the perimeter. But you got to give the defense a lot of credit. They're doing a good job of stepping up to him and pressuring him. Once he attacks, gets to the basket, maybe gets to the free throw line, his rhythm will come back and his shot will be just where it always is.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Ross.
Jaron Collins saying it perfectly as Curry reverses that up and in. Anytime Steph has the ball and he's beyond half court, we let him shoot.
Exactly.
That's the shots we're looking for.
That's a good thing to go by.
Lob to Jordan. It was read by Draymond, but he committed the foul. And again, at 44% free throw, you just don't want him to dunk it down.
They took away that lob in L.A. a few weeks back. Tonight, it's been pretty effective.
Well, whether it's Chris Paul, Doc Rivers, or DeAndre Jordan, I think they looked at that L.A. tape and said, hey, you're the biggest guy out here. We need you to be a factor. DeAndre Jordan has been excellent tonight. With 8 points, 12 boards, and 3 assists. The season ticket priority wait list, over 24,000. It's your way to get priority presale access to playoff tickets. You can sign up tonight at 888-GSW-HOOP and press 1. And Jordan rims the second one in. So Stephen Curry with Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut, Luke Richard, Ba'amute, with J.J. Redick, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, and Paul Pierce.
That game was about a month ago, actually, but that's when Andrew Bogut did not play in the game, and Draymond Green defended Jordan extremely well.
That's what we talked about. The Clippers are the most physical team with Curry off the ball. And that time, Steph dragged to the ground. No matter who has him, they're constantly bumping, clutching, grabbing, banging, wearing him down. That time, Redick picked up the foul. Klay Thompson springing free for a 3.
Well, they're switching that play there, but still, Ba'amute did not deny Klay Thompson the pass.
Ball missing there. Klay with a rebound in motion. Chris Paul is 1 of 8. And yet the Clippers are right in the game. It's a shot. Harrison Barnes was feeling it in the first half. Rides inside. Draymond, fresh 24. Klay Thompson.
That drives the coach nuts. You don't get the rebound and you lose track of a three-point shooter.
Klay has had a big third quarter in this building before in his career, Jim.
Yes, he has. I think everybody remembers that. And it was that into the floor, by the way.
Yes, it was. Steph, good defense there. Shot clock at 2. And it's an air ball.
Draymond smiling.
He's laughing at the air ball. Klay trying to find Bogut inside.
Forcing a timeout there. They just ran by Jordan. Draymond Green was trying to say, run, guys, because we're going to get a dunk.
A 12-1 run. The Warriors burst out of the halftime locker room. 2 of the best shooters in the world. And the tag team partner for Stephen Curry is heating up. And then he becomes a distributor. Get the big man on the board.
Hello, everyone. I'm Henry Woodford. Sportsnet Central's coming up immediately after Warriors postgame live. We have the latest football, baseball, and basketball news. Spurs had no problem handling the Heat tonight. Kawhi Leonard, circus shot in this game. He had 32 points and 8 rebounds, but get this, he left the game early with a bruised thigh. We'll have an update for you. Spurs win 112-88. Back out to Fitz and JB.
All right, Henry, and you knew San Antonio would pound their next opponent after blowing the 23-point lead to Charlotte. But Kawhi Leonard going out with an injury, even if it's a bruise, that's not a good sign for the Spurs as Redick pump fake, can't find it. Ba'amute missed the layup.
Redick hit his first 3, has missed every one since.
Redick is 3 of 9. Chris Paul is 1 of 8. And Steph and Klay defensively are getting it done.
Over the last 14 minutes, they've outscored the Clips 38-22. Second quarter and into this one.
Harrison, little mid-range, rimmed it short. Think about this.
He doesn't need that push shot. He can just go up and get a nice jump shot.
The starting backcourt advantage is 29-9, favoring the Warriors.
He's not going to miss that, is he? He does. That's his favorite spot.
Curry drawing all the defense here. Bogut inside. DeAndre Jordan.
Foul.
First foul charge for Andrew Bogut, second personal. Second team foul. Substitution.
Did not take long for Jeff Green to get in. He had that nice flurry in the first half with 9 points in 11 minutes. If you're wondering about Blake Griffin, spiral fracture in the hand for punching the equipment manager of the Clippers. He also has a thigh injury that's very significant. And when he is deemed healthy, then he will serve a 4-game suspension. And so you're looking at a dozen games left in the season, Jim. I mean,
it hurts them.
Redick missing long.
Yeah, he's hunting. Well, the defense has really jammed it up here. So put the pressure on the Clippers to score. So they're forcing things. No foul. No foul on the shot.
Chris Paul picked up a foul after the ricochet.
How ironic. Chris Paul averages 23.2 against the Warriors lifetime. Highest average versus any opponent for him.
Every time I watch Steph Curry and Chris Paul, Steph as a youngster went to Chris Paul basketball camps.
Yes.
That was his idol. That was his mentor. They worked out together in Charlotte. They had a very close friendship that has become a bit distant. There's still great respect, but the rivalry, you can't be buddies with someone that you're going at tooth and nail all the time.
Yeah, it takes a toll.
And Stephen spent a lot more time in the Bay Area over the years, too, so he's not back in the offseason to work out with Chris Paul.
It's ironic. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain were friends. Nate Thurman and Wilt Chamberlain were friends. But, of course, they were teammates when Nate was just a rookie in this league the first couple of years.
I always like when Charles Barkley talks about Michael Jordan. He said, Michael will be your friend, and then he tried to rip your heart out.
Yes. Well, he would do that to his own teammates in practice.
Yeah, yes.
They had to calm him down with the rookies. Breaking their confidence.
The Warrior head coach got in a fight with Michael Jordan in practice. Jeff Green stepping in front for the steal.
That's a travel. That is a travel.
Oh, man, that's going to be a three-point play. The foul and the field goal. And Green was on skates.
Well, let's see if the foul occurred before the traveling. One and another step, and he's got all ball, and he slipped and got a huge break. That's pretty good defense. I'd say it's pretty excellent defense.
You're allowed to gather, dribble in 2 steps, but not 4. So instead of a turnover, it becomes a 3-point play. The Clippers just trying to hang in there as the Warriors had the burst. Curry 3. So Stephen 3 for his last 21, but 3 for 7 tonight.
That's 428. It's good if you're a Giant.
Curry with a pickpocket. Took it from Redick. Push ahead. Draymond down the middle.
You think Curry has a left hand? He threw that from past half court right on a clothesline. That is one heck of a pass.
That's the best left-handed pass we've seen here since Kenny Stabler.
I like it.
Wesley Johnson missing. Tipping around.
Nice play by Paul.
Chris Paul. Yeah, that was the Warriors' version of the ghost to the post. Lefty to Draymond playing the Dave Casper role. Harrison Barnes from the baseline. The tempo was favoring the Warriors in this third quarter, though. I'm sure the Clippers want to run with the Warriors, but Chris Paul, his second made field goal.
Well, Draymond made him take a jump shot. That's all you want from a bigger man with a smaller.
Oh, Steph setting up Barnes again. Bogut cramming it home.
You've got to keep the pressure on here. You still don't have a big enough lead here. A lot of emotion from the crowd. That helps. But you've got to play the game.
Chris Paul trying to will his team back into the ball game. Missing that 3 there.
Keep with your game plan. Hit the open man.
Barely in Clay's hand and right in the bucket. Clippers take a 20-second timeout. What's been the difference in the third offensively?
They're getting to the open court. They're getting the defense scattered. They're running a little bit here.
And there it is. The ghost to the post. And the bench loved it.
The first fast break point they've had this quarter. They did not get a fast break point in the second quarter, yet they outscored Doc Rivers' team 28-21. They're playing better half-court offense as well. They're finding open people, and the Clippers are missing some assignments.
The Clippers now only shooting 41% for the game. And with Redick at 7 and Chris Paul at 4, they don't have the firepower to stay with the Splash Brothers. They have to get a backcourt game from their starters.
Yes. Not to be negative, but 14 points can evaporate in a hurry. That's why you just want to keep the pressure on them. Don't give them a little daylight. Don't give them life.
Tell you what, you credit another sellout crowd at Oracle, too, because this building is pulsating right now, and the crowd energy has exhorted the Warrior defense.
And it's nice to get caught up with that, but you don't want to get caught up in the exuberance of that and forget your assignments out on the floor and what you have to do.
Shot clock at 7. They call the Jeff Green ISO out of that timeout. Wesley Johnson 3, and Bogut and DeAndre battling.
That was just quickness there from DeAndre.
And he fell down, and it's the second player that's fallen that's rewarded with a foul.
I don't know which is rougher. Clay's foul or Bogut's. That's a bailout.
So Jeff Green was gifted a three-point play. And Jordan, I don't even know what you call that. It has been an incredibly well-officiated game, given the intensity.
Well, we liked the first half officiating, simply because they stayed out of the way.
Right.
And nothing negative. I love these guys, all three of them.
I said it's a playoff crew. I would take these guys doing playoff games all day. The younger official, Kevin Cutler, missed both those calls, and that's where Zach and Michael will talk to him about it during the timeout.
Cost him a point, and Bogut a foul. He's got 3. Out of the game now. Let's see how they run with the smaller lineup.
Jeff Green was waiting on that. With recognition, he saw the ball. Jordan on Curry without Bogut there, and Draymond's got to be careful. So DeAndre Jordan back to the line. These are free throws 9 and 10 for Jordan. And it's Draymond's third. So,
well, they went right up over the top to the rim with the smaller lineup.
So the delay of game called rather than the technical. Zach Zarba giving Draymond a chance. But if he keeps it up, he's going to have to tee him up. And now Zach even walking away. Can't have an official with more patience than that.
I agree with that.
He did a great job there. And Jordan missing the free throw. 76ers in town on Easter Sunday. That'll be 5 o'clock. So note the special start time. Get the verified official tickets at Warriors.com. And be here for the 76ers. 5 o'clock on Sunday. You bring the kids out for that one.
Can't have a late Sunday brunch.
So Jordan 1 out of 2 again. So Bogut 3 fouls. Draymond 3 fouls. Clippers is trying to climb back in. Curry 3. Is long and strong, and Chris Paul pushing. Watch DeAndre Jordan again, and Crawford running with him. Blocked out of bounds. What a play by Brandon Rush.
Well, first of all, he ran him off the three-point line, and then he recovered. And this is just on the ball, yes, on the hand after the ball was released there, but it's anybody's game there. That's a beautiful block.
It's the healthiest we've ever seen Brandon since the injury. The threes have returned, and the D right with it. Austin Rivers missing the three and out of bounds to the Warriors. DeAndre Jordan is having a night, 13 and 16, but the Clippers are under 40%.
Yep, time for a hoop now for the Warriors, though. Been on 71 here for a few possessions.
Curry, crossover, Steph, finger roll.
That's what you want. That's when you know you're controlling the game. Just a basket like that just gets them back up to 14.
That equals the largest lead of the night. Jeff Green thought about the three. And Brandon Rush with the foul.
Yeah, he got there late. He was moving. High screen, Draymond Green. Paul never saw it. He was alone defending him initially. Thought he was alone there. And Green just snuck up behind him. And Curry's off to the races.
Jeff Green was the 5th pick in 2007. Thought he would really be something in OKC. Memphis wanted him as the super scorer. And I think the Clippers are saying we need someone off the bench to provide some points. He's an interesting size, as probably too big for threes and too quick for fours. He can step out to the three-point line. And he and Paul Pierce have been the preseason and then midseason acquisition to try to bolster the Clipper squad.
This is about as aggressive as he plays.
Yes,
tonight,
I agree.
They're happy with his play tonight.
That's exactly what Doc Rivers would want. Green's got 13 off the bench in 16 minutes. Curry on DeAndre Jordan again. He had terminated the dribble. Livingston to Barbosa. That was to beat the shot clock buzzer. Clippers play great defense that trip down. Bottled up Curry and Livingston. This ball hides behind DeAndre Jordan. It's a 2. Got to credit the Clippers. They didn't get rattled. The building was going nuts.
Nope.
The Warriors have built the 14-point lead. Clippers have turned the tempo down. Got Bogut off the court with the foul.
They're a veteran, polished team. No, that's why I say you got to keep everything you're doing.
Brandon bobbled that ball. That would have been a layup. Rivers streaking to the rim and a nice finish.
That is. He went off 1 foot there. Did not allow the defenders to recover. And he also took it high off the glass.
A 7-2 Clipper run. And it's back to single digits.
We love baseball.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 9 on the Clippers. Steve Kerr mentioned that Stephen Curry might be mentally fatigued, but at shoot-around today, Steph said there were no conversations yet about sitting out. In fact, he added he doesn't like to sit out. He said sitting out and watching is boring. And people are asking if Steph is in a shooting slump. He's handling the missed shots with a defiance. He said, I'm stubborn, but a good kind of stubborn. I might think, was my elbow in or did I shoot off balance? But after that, I don't overanalyze. I keep my charisma and my confidence.
There's no more confident shooter in the world, and he's got good reason. Tonight he's 9 of 16, 3 of 8 on threes. We just had a $10,000 putt made during the timeout.
You mean that ovation was not for Roz?
Well, it was for Roz returning from the NCAA tournament, but
yes.
It was also the putt from midcourt for 10 grand.
10 grand. That was exciting.
Livingston is fouled. So from midcourt all the way through.
Now you'll see the ovation.
It was awesome.
The excitement. Of course, $10,000 bucks.
Well, 94 by 50 feet. So a 47-foot putt. Sign that guy up.
The green is pretty level when you're putting out here.
It's level, but it's very slick.
Yes, it does roll forever.
See now,
Sean's found a little offense tonight.
Your first professional court. If we did that at the Boston Garden, the ball would be breaking left and right the whole time.
You couldn't read it.
This putt is a double breaker.
It might hit a crack there and stop completely.
Yeah, exactly. The parquet floor.
And I'm not kidding.
Oh, beautifully thrown lob. See, with Bogut out, the Clippers are attacking inside.
Crawford's got 4 assists tonight.
Steve can't put Andrew back in with 3 fouls, so Clippers know he's done for the rest of the third. Livingston, the former Clipper.
I think I'd take a chance to put him back in with 3 fouls. Unless they think they can just do it with the smalls.
Draymond missing that 3.
If they get another lob inside.
The other issue, too, Jeff Green drives inside, is that Bogut had 10 rebounds in 20 minutes. He was owning the glass. Draymond speed dribble. Draymond to the rim.
What a beautiful end-to-end play.
The bucket and the body for Draymond Green.
I don't know, maybe the guards for the Clippers don't think they have to get back. I mean, watch him trot here. I mean, Chris Paul gave up on the play, and he just took it all the way. Chris Paul stopped running. Rivers never even made an attempt to get over and stop the ball.
And so Draymond, three-point play.
That's lazy transition defense.
We're going to be getting our ballots for All-NBA, Jim. Draymond Green's become an All-NBA player.
Yes, that's
He was already an All-Star. But, you know, first, second, or third team. I mean, how many power forwards can do what this guy can do?
No, and he just attacks you. And I don't want to diminish his skills on that play. The guards did quit on it, but he made a heck of a play. And he sees the opening. And he seizes the moment.
So Austin Rivers with the Warriors over the limit. Draymond Green initially was known for defense. He was first team all defense, second for defensive player of the year. But his explosion offensively and his ball handling and decision making, his leadership. The Warriors rewarded him with a new contract, and he got even better this year. Curry couldn't get an angle. And Chris Paul on the counterattack. Austin Rivers didn't want that 20-footer. Chris Paul post up and now face up. DeAndre Jordan inside.
What a play by Livingston. He rolled off of Jordan and did a super job to get him away from the basket. He saved a dunk there.
What was weird on that play is that some of the players stopped playing. I thought they heard a whistle. DeAndre Jordan's going to get a tee here, but as he missed that shot, Steph and a few others stopped playing. It was almost like there was some whistle or they were anticipating the foul.
Well, you go back and Livingston was on Chris Paul, and he got real wide, and then he switched, and he just did a nice drop step roll, and he prevented a basket there, and then he got the rebound.
So DeAndre Jordan committed a foul, and we had a technical foul, but when Jordan missed, you had Curry and a few others just stopped.
Watch what he does here, Livingston. He rolls in, he gets in front of Jordan. Kept him away from the glass, made him miss. And Jordan thought he should have gotten free throws, evidently.
And so the technical and the personal foul. So Chris Paul got the tee. DeAndre Jordan got the foul. The technical's been made. And now Livingston to shoot a pair. That was a weird sequence.
Yes, it was. Double figures for Sean.
So Livingston becomes the fourth Warrior in double figures.
I mean, here's a guy that shoots 53% from the field, averages only 6 a game because he doesn't take a lot of shots. He's not worried about that. Got a championship ring, looking for another.
Final minute 5:20 of this third quarter. Lob again. The lobs were not there when Bogut was in the game. And credit the Clippers, that third foul has ignited DeAndre Jordan.
Usually we see DeAndre Jordan lob city on fast breaks, but he's doing it at half court tonight, every one of them.
Curry off iron. Barbosa flew in. And Jeff Green the rebound.
They would love it. Single-digit deficit to go to the fourth here. Warriors want to deny that.
Draymond was ready for the lob then.
Yes, he stayed home.
So Zach Zarbas just kind of giving everybody a general, hey, I had about enough. We've had a lot of chirping. Let's just play. You can read his lips there.
I said earlier, it's physical out there.
Paul Crawford missing that three. Draymond tipped it. Livingston touched it last.
So the physicality, all the emotions, has brought the officials into the game more. And that's a necessity when it gets like this.
Chris Paul on Brandon Rush. Chris Paul missing. Curry high for the rebound.
Not time enough for 2 for 1. Just a quick switch. And I'm surprised at that.
Steph dribbled off a foot. Whoa! The whistle had already been blown.
Draymond Green never saw Chris Paul. And he had to catch up to that ball. Make sure Chris Paul doesn't go down and get a layup.
Everybody all right? On the kick, shot clock recycled to 14, so 1.6 difference. Couple guard screens. Now Steph on DeAndre Jordan. Little man against big. And Little gets to the line. He's had to work tonight for 22 points.
Good point. That's what's going through my mind.
Jordan will pick up his 4th foul.
He's had to work just to get the ball at times. He draws a crowd, as he should.
But we say this, just an observation, but it's also smart. Doc Rivers played the point guard position. He believes in banging Curry around, wearing him out. Yep. Everybody takes a shot at him because that is the only, if you give him freedom and space and rhythm, you're done. And so Steph misses that free throw. He's 3 of 8 on threes. And he has had to exert himself at a very high level tonight. So 4 seconds of defense required. Chris Paul at 2. Chris Paul the running 3, and it's good. The Clippers are not done yet.
Single digits.
The Warriors had the lead as high as 14 when Bogut went out. It's only 9 now as they head to the 4th. And Chris Paul plays beat the clock. And the Clippers not done. Toyota game summary. The Warriors own that third quarter. But the number and the man to look at, in the 20 minutes Andrew Bogut has played, the Warriors are plus 18. In the 16 minutes he has sat, they are -9. Bogut, the highest plus minus of any player on the floor. And when he went to the bench, Jim, the 14-point lead becomes 9. And it gave the Clippers life, particularly that 3, and they begin the 4th with the ball. Bob, Jim, and Roz with you at Oracle. And We'll see what unfolds here in the fourth.
If you're the Clippers, you have the ball first. You like a score, and then you like to get a stop. Set the tone. He lost it.
Harrison knocked it away.
He's going to go all the way.
Barbosa on Redick. And foul before the follow.
If you're watching this and you don't know, there's one defender back, and you're a player, if you can't beat that one man, then you better do something else. I love the way Leandro understands this. The ball just goes awry there, and he's going to go right to the basket. He's going to challenge the one defender. You should either get a layup or a foul, and he got 2 free throws. That's exactly what you need.
2 things here to begin the fourth, Jim. But the defense and their intensity with the reserves. But when Steph sits, it's Klay Thompson time. You know, he's got to carry things offensively because Steve Kerr doesn't want to put Curry back in about 6 minutes left in the game. And
that's also relies on Barbosa to stay out there.
No, you're right. Any other points, Mo, Barbosa, but Klay will be the main gun that the Warriors will need to be firing.
The University of Oregon about 20 years ago had a great player named Anthony Taylor. He used to come up and take jump shots coming down one-on-one. Played a little bit in the NBA, but to me that was his demise.
Spades contested Redick nicely. Livingston will push. Mo's giving that 3. They're just giving it to him. And he rimmed it out. Austin Rivers, Cole Aldridge, Jeff Green, Jamal Crawford, and J.J. Redick. Aldridge inside, able to finish. Spates, Livingston, Barnes with Klay Thompson, Barbosa.
Spates, 1 of 5 tonight, hasn't found his rhythm.
All moving around, Klay.
Tough shot, very tough shot.
Not for him.
Amazing.
5 of 6 on threes. He's 10 for his last 11 the last 2 games.
He is unconscious with that. I don't think the defender expected him to shoot it.
Oh, Spades with a block. Thompson will handle. Go around Green. Oh.
And that went to the 5th row.
But that fan was open. I mean, he had spaced out. He was beyond the 3-point line. And
well, he had the right idea, and it would have been a tough finish. Everybody chasing him.
I mean, we know the Oracle crowd is the 6th man, but I don't think Klay wanted to feed him. Redick. It's not his night shooting the ball.
See, Barbosa went under that screen, but he still recovered enough to make Redick conscious of him. And I like that kind of defense, rather than run smack into the screen, trying to fight over the top always.
Livingston could tell everybody to go away. Work on Jamal, but Crawford with a quick steal. Exposed the ball, and he paid for it. Klay Thompson retreated and played the D. Up a dozen. Trying to put the pressure on the Clippers. Spates with the offensive rebound. And we got a jump ball.
Well, give Austin Rivers credit there. He defended Livingston about as well as he could. That's almost automatic for Sean. And here's, after the steal, Jamal Crawford. And what he didn't do was release the ball a little earlier, like Steph Curry does. That's pretty good defense there to get that miss. Livingston is automatic from that area usually.
So Aldridge and Spates. Where would Mo like to tip this?
Right, there's Harrison, Livingston, but he didn't get a chance.
And out of bounds, it's Warrior ball.
Aldridge won the tip, but they did not win the battle down there.
Klay barely in his hands, made it anyway. He's having one of those nights.
Yeah, because he was off balance, slipped a little bit, wrestled with the handle. Pretty amazing.
Great three-point night for the Warriors. Klay's made 11 of his last 12 threes in 2 games. Green missing. Harrison the D and the rebound.
This is control now.
The biggest lead of the night. Can they add to it? And Mo Spates will go to the foul line to do just that.
I'm surprised Doc hasn't called a timeout.
First foul, charge 45,
Do you play much poker at all, Jim?
Not for years, I haven't.
Because I will say that Doc Rivers is about to push all his chips into the middle of the table.
Okay.
Here comes DeAndre Jordan. Here comes Chris Paul.
Well, he needs to.
He knows that this game is almost on tilt here. With 9:06, he can't afford to rest his big boys. So here comes Chris Paul. Here comes DeAndre Jordan.
Biggest lead of the game.
He knows the Clippers are about 3 minutes away from being done. The Warriors get this to 20, this game's over.
And a series season sweep.
And actually, the Warriors have that incredible streak of 109 when they lead by 15 or more. Shot clock at 10. Rivers, that's a big three. It's a stabilizer for LA. Warriors began this quarter up 9. Every time they've had a surge, the Clippers have had an answer. So Steve Kerr, sensing that, will use a timeout in his own right. 8:41 remaining. How hot is Klay Thompson? What if you barely even have the ball in your hands and you still are 6 of 7 on threes? Our McDonald's true story. Pro teams with the longest home winning streaks. You start with the Red Wings at 23. The old 1885 St. Louis Browns with 27, and the New York Giants of 1885 as well. The Miami Dolphins of Don Shula, 27 straight at home, and the Golden State Warriors working on 50 right now, the longest home winning streak of any of the 4 major professional sports. They're very good in a very difficult Western Conference during this home win streak.
You don't hear it talk much, but I'd love to see him go 41-0 at home. It's never been done.
All right, so we talked about the poker analogy. Doc Rivers pushes his chips in the middle of the table. Steve Curry calls him because Curry's in about 2.5 minutes earlier than normal.
Yes.
Steve called that timeout to get Steph in the game. Step back 3. Well defended. Draymond kept it alive. Spates. Now the reload, the 3. And then Spates is over the back.
Well, they hit the rim, so they got a new shot clock. They opted not to use any more time. And why would you? Because Klay was wide open. He just did not knock it down.
So Spates stays in with the other 4 starters. Paul, Redick, DeAndre Jordan, Crawford, and Rivers. And for Mo, it's watching these lobs to Jordan. Jordan putting it on the deck and getting to the rim.
I wonder if they're going to bring Bogut back in.
This is his first game back from that toe injury. He went to the bench with the foul trouble.
That could be a factor.
Klay Thompson rimming it out.
He's the best fade shooter I've ever seen. I mean, you're supposed to go straight up, straight back down, land the same place. He doesn't, but he makes the adjustment in the air with the ball.
Chris Paul will get to the line.
It's exactly what they want. Stop the clock and get free throws.
And with a lot of time left in the ball game.
That's right. This is exactly what Doc Rivers wants. Get a miss from the Warriors, get a foul, get a rest, and a couple of free throws.
Tina Delore is tonight's Authentic Fan of the Game, has won 2 tickets for Friday on Authentic Fan Friday with the Mavericks coming to town. Upload a photo to Instagram cheering on the Warriors and use hashtag Authentic Fan and CSN sweepstakes for your chance to be here Friday. So 7 unanswered by the Clippers. 16-point lead is at 9. Klay cutting and scored it out of his hands. So LA with the momentum right now. Four guards and DeAndre Jordan. And now Austin Rivers to the line.
second personal, 13 foul.
Chris Paul, Redick, Rivers, and Jamal Crawford. 4 guards and DeAndre Jordan. Doc Rivers has definitely experimented tonight.
You've got Brandon Rush coming in. It's got to be for Spates. So Draymond Green on DeAndre Jordan. Harrison's going to chase somebody around.
To make it a 9-0 run. Long way to go in this one. Clay made a great catch and finish. How did he catch that? How did he put it in while he was being fouled?
Just a backdoor play again. They open up the middle. Redick is trying to prevent Clay from going out on the perimeter to catch a ball for another 3. He's been the hottest one there. He's made 6. That is a great catch and a better finish. Not easy. But you take away their strength. Overplaying like that, their aggressiveness, and you make them pay for it.
Leading scorer of the game, Klay Thompson has 25. Steph 23. DeAndre Jordan 19 for the Clippers.
That was a huge three-point play. Huge.
Steph gave ground, and then he knocked it away. Curry with a steal. Weaving through traffic. Curry bounced and deflected by Austin Rivers. He never got it to the rim.
Well, he never got an opening all the way to the basket. He forced that one up there.
Great recovery by the Clippers.
Well, he usually beats everybody. He just didn't do it that time.
Steph with a rebound in motion. Off the Paul miss to Klay Thompson.
I love that pass. You throw it ahead and let a man run to it when he's got a step on the defender.
Well, we said Klay Thompson would have to be the offense in the 4th quarter. How about 11 of his 27 here in the 4th?
They'll take it. Beautiful pass.
Doc Rivers will use the timeout. Warriors back up a dozen. The Splash Brothers combining for 50 so far.
The Dubs are chasing history. Steph and the boys look to take down Dallas in their quest for 72. Warriors Mavs Friday at 6:30 on CSN Bay Area and streaming on csnbayarea.com and NBC Sports Live Extra.
Warrior lead at 12. Our Rams shots of the game. If you're going to play championship defense, you can't have 2 guys dribble 94 feet through your entire defense. Curry did it to end the half, and Draymond did it in the 3rd.
This is one great finish with his left. And then they didn't get back on the play prior to the timeout as Stephen Curry threw ahead and Klay Thompson beat him down the floor. That's why Doc got upset. This point in the game, he says we can't make those kinds of mistakes. Warriors took advantage.
They're staying with the 4 guards and DeAndre Jordan. Warriors are staying small with Draymond at center. Brandon Rush knocked it away. Still be Clipper ball. Unless DeAndre Jordan punishes the Warriors inside, the Warriors' small unit's the best in the NBA.
Of course, he's not going to punish him because he got Draymond Green there, and that's all Draymond has to do.
Curry will pick up a foul, trying to fight through that screen. It's his 2nd personal. Warriors' 4th team foul.
Draymond loves this challenge because he knows he can get physical with DeAndre Jordan. The trouble is, Draymond's such a good help defender. Sometimes you get burned that way, and that's part of the reason DeAndre Jordan got off to the great start in the 1st half.
Yeah, he got a gang rebound to help on the glass against Jordan. Crawford, tough fade. For Jamal Crawford, he gets in those unconscious modes sometimes.
He can make unconventional shots.
Midway through the 4th. 9-point lead heading into the 4th quarter, 10 right now. Klay Thompson all the way to the rim.
What a games he has had. Outside and in.
13 in the 4th quarter by Klay Thompson.
See, Draymond jumped there, held up Crawford just enough time for Klay to recover.
Redick inside.
game, you throw to the middle, you got a 4-on-3. And watch Draymond. He knows guards are going to be going at this ball. He picks it up at the right time, puts it ahead, so he gets fouled, but he still converts.
Foul, finish, and flex. Draymond Green with an opportunity for a three-point play as the Clippers use the timeout. He's already got the double-double, back up to a dozen, and a free throw coming. Clippers got off to a good start. Their bench was tremendous. The Warrior defense has been outstanding, but Klay Thompson, the big plays the Togo's way. 13 in the fourth quarter, game high 29, 6 of 9 on threes. And with all the attention on Steph Curry, who still has 23 in his own right, Klay Thompson has been tremendous down the stretch.
Well, he's one of the great offensive performers in this league. There's no question about it. Gets better every year. Gets more confidence. Deadly shooter, and not only a deadly shooter, but a beautiful, beautiful, picturesque, perfect jump shot. Now he's going to the basket with regularity.
You know what we have to do at some point before the season's out. Klay's jumper, half screen, Jerry West jumper, the other half of the screen.
Interesting.
And I think of the two most beautiful two-guard jump shots we've seen from then and now, and it just reminds me so much of each other. Jerry's in the building tonight.
They both get it off, you know, Jerry got it off very quickly. But I tell you, the length, Thompson has the advantage there with his height, length, and the release.
Draymond rims in the free throw. We check in with Roz.
In the last timeout, Steve Kerr opened it up to his team. He just said, I'm just not sure right now, should we start fouling DeAndre Jordan? And the players started to deliberate, and then he said, well, against the small lineup, we might, so you might see it here.
Good point.
Deflected away by Draymond. Loose ball that Klay will grab. I think the hack of Jordan is a card that Steve doesn't want to play until maybe the postseason.
Well, you've got a 13-point lead. You can just kind of see how it goes. You're certainly not desperate.
Steph setting up Brandon Rush. And Austin Rivers the rebound. Stop the ball. The Warriors do. Crawford missing. They're holding the Clippers to 41% shooting. That'll be a foul. As Jamal Crawford was spilled. That'll be Draymond's fourth.
Well, Crawford had a big first quarter, and they kind of held him in check. That's a funny way to set a screen, isn't it?
You know, if you're going to get a foul, get your money's worth. Jamal's about the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet in the NBA. So,
but it's right in front of the officials.
Yeah.
I don't get it. They need to make some threes. You know, they need to catch up. And there, he needs to take that.
Chris Paul's night, 4 of 16. Never be more open than that. Curry has won that matchup, and DeAndre Jordan fouling Steph. Clippers are over the limit, so that will be free throws. DeAndre Jordan had a big night. 19 points, 20 boards, 5 fouls. He's been very good. Played 37 minutes. Stephen Curry dropping in the free throw. Well, CSNBayArea.com, you got to watch Cooking with the Currys. Aisha Curry dishes out her favorite recipes for the Curry household. And Toyota bringing cooking to the curries to CSNBayArea.com. Austin Rivers attacking inside nicely. Rivers has been active tonight. He's got 14 off the bench. I think that's going to be rough for the Clippers as they did a lot of good things tonight, Jim. But Redick and Chris Paul, their off nights have given the Warriors the advantage. And Stephen Curry hitting a three.
Yeah, it's too far for DeAndre Jordan to come out. He was stuck way back in the lane. And Steph reached. Uh-oh, he's got a tee down.
And through the mouthpiece.
Well, the thing is, it's right in front of Zach Zarba, and there's a reach. There's the three-pointer in the lateness of DeAndre.
Chris Paul dropping in the technical free throw.
Here's the reach right there. I have no qualms with that foul at all. Now I understand. Okay, there's more to it than just that one play because Chris Paul mugs Stephen Curry all the time away from the ball. Okay?
You just explained it very well.
That's what it was.
You watch that replay, that's a foul on Steph, it's correctly called. But for 45 minutes he's gotten beaten up, and he's just looking for the threshold of contact to be a little more level.
That's it. Exactly.
So you assessed it perfectly, Jim. That's 40 minutes worth of frustration. That's not just one play right there.
It's amazing they let Chris Paul do that all game. Constantly. How many times has DeAndre Jordan been matched up on Stephen Curry tonight? On switches.
Steph. Well, that was a degree of difficulty off the charts. Hit the top of the backboard. No reset of the shot clock here.
But Sean Livingston will shoot 2 free throws.
It was a foul the Clippers did not need to commit.
And with these 2 free throws, you can make it up to 16. And unless they play it like Northern Iowa, they should be home safely.
Well, you were at the pregame press conference, and Steve Kerr now is talking openly about chasing the Bulls record.
Yes, he is, because it's appropriate now. Because, first of all, it's in alignment with what their objective is to be the #1 seed. And so to be the #1 seed, they got to start winning every game here and ensure that. They've got 2 more games with San Antonio. And so he said it's appropriate to talk about that, so they go hand in hand, and they're joined together now, so why not talk about it?
The magic number to be the 1 seed was 9 coming into the game. Combination of Warrior wins and Spurs losses. If the Warriors hold on to win, the magic number will be 8 with 11 games left. You're looking at 22 possible outcomes. The Warriors 11 games and the Spurs 11, and only 8 of those have to go in the Warrior favor to be the 1 seed. So the math is starting to work against San Antonio.
And this would be 51 straight home wins, right?
Yes, it would.
And I think that's good because as
Crawford banking and missing.
He just continues to struggle. He's going to get a tee, might even get kicked out. Uh-oh, watch it. He wants to get kicked out. Yeah, that's sometimes you want to just get 2 and walk away when you think it's a lost cause anyway. Here's what I was going to say about San Antonio. If they close it out, going back to last year, if they win and they're undefeated at home this year, I think that would be number 50.
Wow.
Okay? I think they could finish with 50 consecutive home wins themselves, if I'm not mistaken.
So Crawford there, you can't be demonstrative at an official. That's got to be a tee. I think both franchises, with the Warriors and San Antonio, they both want to be undefeated at home for the year.
Yes.
41-0 has never been done in NBA history. So a lot of tees on the Clippers. And tonight, no exception. Draymond thought about that 3. Harrison Barnes. Missed that.
Well, they never needed Bogut.
No, but you know what? With the toe, Jim, I think that's good. They had him heated up as Pablo Prigioni hits the 3. He had it heated up. He played 20 minutes. He was plus 18 when he was on the floor. Had 10 rebounds in those 20 minutes, 4 assists. But with an injury, you heat up, cool off. You don't want to put it back out. Shot clock at 7. Clay turn, fade, fire, and miss.
Jeff Ayers, who just entered the game, had been in the D-League this year. He just knocked Curry down. I mean, Steph can't. What does it take here?
Green missing. Klay Thompson for the rebound. First game back after that road trip. 9 of 12 to finish the season at home. It'll be 8 of 11 after tonight. Curry down the lane to lay it up and in. So the Splash Brothers go for 60. Outscore Redick and Paul 60-22.
There's Ayers. He just signed a contract March 16th for the remainder of the season.
They will have beaten the Clippers all 4 times. If the seeds hold, they would meet in the second round. Greg Poppy, Gary St. Jean, going to talk about it on the Honda postgame line. That's coming right up. And Curry again with the layup.
Little gravy.
33 for Stephen Curry, 29 for Clay, 12 and 12 for Draymond, 11 for Livingston, 11 for Barnes. As Austin Rivers was 16 off the bench.
51 straight home wins. This is something.
64 and 7, 51 wins in a row at home, and Clay with 7 made threes. Wow. I'll tell you right now, Jim, when the Warriors are 15 of 34 on threes, you will never beat them.
No, you won't.
You will never beat them.
And only 12 turnovers tonight. That's good.
Both Splash Brothers with 30 or more. 32 for Clay, 33 for Steph. 64 and 7. 4-0 season sweep of the Clippers. LA's bench did the job early. But J.J. Redick, 4 of 13. Chris Paul, 4 of 16. Curry and Chris Paul, that matchup plus 20 favoring the Warriors. 33-13. And Klay Thompson, J.J. Redick, 32-9 favoring the Dubs. On the postgame live is on the way. Greg and Gary will be back at Oracle with the player interview. The best team in the NBA keeps on rolling. Magic number of 8 to be the 1 seed. Back at Oracle and beating up on the Clippers again.
What a night for Klay Thompson. At one end of the floor, he holds J.J. Redick to 9 points on 4 of 13 shooting. On the other end, he scores 32, 16 in the fourth quarter, and goes 7 for 10 on threes. Let's go back to Oracle, check in with Roz, and see if the Splash Brother gets splashed.
Klay, in the fourth quarter, you got very aggressive. What started to open up for you offensively?
Just, I mean, I took a couple bad ones out there, but other than that, I was just humping my shot and got my feet under me and not trying to settle for, contested twos, but work to get an open shot.
You mentioned getting your feet under you. Some of your shots are high degree of difficulty moving away from the basket. How do you get that to go down?
Just practice and holding the fall through, staying confident, getting your shoulders square, and trusting your release. It's going to go in every time.
In the second half, as a team, you guys really pulled away. How'd you find a second gear as a group?
We didn't play bad in the first half, but we didn't play that good either. But I think we pushed the pace a lot better in the second half. Our defense, we played a lot more thrust as far as switching and try not to let them get open threes. And when we play with, that intensity on defensive end, it's going to open up everything on offense just because we're so good on the break.
You just swept the Clippers. Is this rivalry what it once was?
I hope so. I think so. I mean, we're in the same division. We play each other a lot. We both got very competitive guys on each side, and we both stand in the way of each other, what we want to do. So it's still there, and it's good. It's great for basketball. It's great for this league.
All right, thanks, Klay. Congrats.
All right, Roz. Well, update the standings, not only for the 1 seed, but also who the Warriors may play, as now Utah moves ahead of Houston in the 8th spot, and we will see Dallas on Friday night, very fluid in the Western Conference.
Yeah, that's not the end of that movement with Portland and Houston. A couple games between the 6 and the 9 right there. It's anybody's ball game, 6-9.
Klay Thompson sounded like he was channeling Jim Barnett there. Play defense, energize the offense, feed off that, and in the second half they really did it.
They really did, and they clamped down. When they played defense, they just played with much more confidence in their offensive end. And 26 points in the 4th quarter for the Clippers. That's exactly what the Splash Brothers had. Klay Thompson, 16. And Curry chipped in with 10 to end with 33 for the night. So they matched the entire output of the Clippers in the 4th quarter alone.
And the Clippers, definitely a little frustration. They're held to 42% shooting. I don't know that Redick and Chris Paul have ever seen them play a rougher game. I mean, Steph and Klay own those matchups.
Yeah, this is the biggest disparity I've seen among those 4.
Yeah.
When you go head-to-head matchups. And Klay Thompson he denies people. He makes it very tough for them to score. And at the other end, he's never going to play any better and shoot the ball any better than that stretch that we saw.
And you start to look at that backcourt matchup is something the Clippers have to have even close to being even, and it wasn't tonight. And so when the Warriors dominate there, the rest of the game is going to take care of itself.
Yeah. Will they meet in the playoffs? You can see with Bogut on the floor, he dominates in there. DeAndre Jordan is neutralized. Take him off the floor for the entire second half, and he's still neutralized with Draymond Green. So Doc Rivers, really, what other answers can you come up with?
Yeah, the other answer, too, if you're the Clippers, the frustration was pretty evident. They may meet this team in the playoffs, but now for other teams around the Western Conference, Bogut came back healthy. We saw Iguodala working out before the game, and Ezeli's not far behind. So if you didn't get the Warriors when they were wounded, you're in trouble.
Well, we know what they can provide for you, and San Antonio knows that as well. Greg Papa certainly knows, the pluses and minuses of everything and the health of the Warriors.
Well, Greg Papa knows that. Greg Popovich knows that, too. The Spurs, right now, Greg, you look at the magic number at 8. The math is working against San Antonio.
All right. Popovich is the coach of the Spurs. Son of Papa, Popovich. I'm with the saintly one. Popovich won again tonight, Saint. They beat Miami. A quad injury, though, for Kawhi Leonard. So their winning streak is at 45 in a row. If they win out, they're going to get to 50. But if the Warriors win the rest of the home games, they're going to get to 59. They are 33-0 at home this year, 64-7. So the magic number is 8 to clinch the 1 seed and 9 to get to 73 wins. I don't see a Popovich around here anywhere. Do you? No.
No.
Greg Papa, that's all you got. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jude, welcome to Honda Warriors Post-Game Live. Klay Thompson just had a game to guard J.J. Redick on one end and run through all those screens as the primary defender and hold him down. And then on the other end, Saintly, to shoot the ball as purely as he shot the ball and have the leg strength. How does this guy do this?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This guy's in fabulous shape, and you're getting an array of his shots right there. A step back, a release 3. That is a beautiful release. Great foot placement. Now movement without the ball. This guy has just grown leaps and bounds. There's a beautiful backdoor cut.
Left-handed
and a great
catch,
pass from Draymond. Look at the catch.
Wow.
He could play for Pop's Raiders right there. I'm telling you what. And then on defense, and then you get a beautiful pass from Steph off the defense.
Yeah.
But, Pop, we talked before the game. We're going to take a look at the comparison.
Just look at the numbers, Saintly. The Splash Brothers outscored, and minus Blake Griffin, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are their top 2 scorers. They averaged 38 a game. They got to score. The Warriors outscored them, Steph and Klay, 65 to 22 in the shooting, and they just did not shoot the ball well, 4 for 16, and J.J. Redick just 4 for 13. At one point in the 4th quarter, Doc Rivers had to play 2 other guards, his son Austin Rivers and Jamal Crawford, because Chris Paul and Redick were just off. And early in the game, the Warriors kind of lost Redick at a couple of screens. He was wide open for 2 or 3 shots, and he flat out missed them.
Well, sometimes the road is tough on you, and we spent a lot of time pregame talking about defending Redick off of screens. And Klay will defend people one-on-one, but I love his tenacity when he's got to really trail people without the ball and really deal with the screens and deny the entry and all that. Listen, this guy is the best two-way two-guard in the league. I don't want to hear it about anybody else. He is the best. To play that kind of defense against one of the better two-guard shooters that we have in the league and then come down and just dominate the fourth period. He was just masterful tonight. And you know, between the two of them, they go 11 for 20 from the three-point line. When that happens, when they're playing at that level, they're going to take care of anybody's backcourt. And I will say this. DeAndre Jordan had a heck of a game. He had 20 and 19 tonight. He was really terrific. Great lob passes from Paul. They got a good game from Crawford and from Green off the bench. But the shutting down of Redick was huge. And Paul didn't really have a big scoring game. So they really dominated that backcourt. And we talked about the importance of the defense. They were really locked in tonight. And I think having Bogues back certainly helps that.
And Steph did a nice job on Chris Paul. He picked his pocket on a crossover move, missed the layup on the other end. But we were worried about him shooting the ball. 10 for 35, previous 2 games, floor and 3 for 21. Here he gets his steal. His shot was back tonight, Shane. He shot 23 times, made 12, was 4 of 10 beyond the line, had 33 points, had a solid overall game, and really defended Chris Paul tonight very well.
You know, Pop, you're hitting it there. And I think he was a little frustrated because if you study Chris Paul, he's always putting his body on you all the time. He's irritating. And I think Steph kind of played good defensive. Whoop, whoop. How you doing, Jordan? Not so good.
He got robbed,
He got robbed.
No rings, and he got robbed.
No rings.
But it's just good to see Steph shoot the ball well after missing 18 of his 21 in San Antonio on a Saturday night. That left-handed outlet was beautiful.
That was gorgeous.
And he was off target at the Target Center on Monday. Tonight, the scoops, the legs, he just had his energy back a little bit. We can see that, obviously, from the beginning of the game tonight.
You know of any other point guard that can make that left-handed pass and then that scoop like that?
No.
His left hand is magnificent. Oh, I love that pass. That was gorgeous.
George Gervin. I'm thinking of guys that can even make that little finger roll of the scoop, and not a whole lot of point
that kind of
guards.
was like it.
It was 51-49 Warriors at halftime. And our BMW turning point, Steph had a driving reverse layup for an early basket, and then Clay goes splash. He goes splash again. Bogut gets a dunk. You go 10-1 on him. Say, look at that. He's not going to touch a rim, and you go from up 2 to 61-50 up. You built the lead to 16. The Clippers made a run, but I think just taking control of the game early third quarter was the BMW turning point tonight.
Oh, you're right on. And you know, just the unselfishness of this team. They're really tied together, making the extra pass, the backdoor cut. I cut hard for you to get a better shot because the defender must guard me if I cut hard, and it opens up space for you. The first clip we had there was a classic Klay Thompson setup on a baseline screen. He masterfully waited for the defender, shouldered him, and popped out, used the screen perfect, got the feet set. Textbook, just gorgeous.
Clay goes for 32, and Steph goes for 33, and the Warriors stay perfect at Oracle Arena this year. We're not going to see the Los Angeles Clippers the rest of the regular season.
You're going to see them.
Something tells me we are going to see them, Stately, in mid-May, late May, something
right
called the Western Conference semifinals or round 2 of the playoffs. You will hear from Steve Kerr. A lot more coming your way on Honda Warriors Postgame Live.
Hello, Henry Wolford along with Mindy Bach. It's a good thing we want to work because we have a lot to talk about tonight.
I know, tons of Warriors and more Warriors. And then the NBA season winding down. We have lots of highlights from around the league as well as an update on Kawhi Leonard of the Spurs.
Plus, we'll take you out to Arizona. Brandon Belt, belting balls left and right. We'll tell you how many he hit out of the park today.
And did you ever wonder why Steph Curry picked Under Armour over Nike?
Yes.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. And a little girl. We'll have to tell you that story.
Little girl?
A little girl.
Riley might have something to do with
Riley.
this.
All right.
We'll talk about it. We'll see you a little bit later.
Yeah, Mindy, it's Stephen Curry, not Stefan Curry. And he had a big night tonight, 114-98 Warriors. Stephen Curry went for 33. His Splash Brother partner, Clay, went for 32. They combined to make it 11 of 20 on threes. Warriors made 15 threes tonight. Did not shoot the ball well on twos, but 15 of 34 from the floor, and they beat the L.A. Clippers in the return game of Andrew Bogut. The toe injury Friday in Dallas, missed Saturday and Sunday in San Antonio in the Twin Cities. He was back tonight, played 20 minutes, was a plus 18 while he was on the the floor. Didn't play much in the fourth quarter as Doc Rivers went small. Let's head back to Oracle Arena. Check in with Steve Kerr, and he's going to talk first about the return of Andrew Bogut.
Oh, I thought Bogut was great. It's good to see him moving really well. That was the main thing. I was just interested in how he was going to look, and no limp or anything. He was moving well, and our defense is always better, you know, when he's out there. And you know, we were a plus 18 while he was on the floor. So good solid effort by Andrew.
Harrison was 3 for 11, but you saw those back-to-back three-pointers. I think it's plus 22. You've been saying that you've liked the way he's been playing, but was it important to see some shots go down for him? And do you think this was just a continuation of improvement?
Well, yeah, I think he's been. I knew where you were going with that. No, I think he's been playing well the last 2 weeks or so, whether the shot's going in or not. I just think he's been better defensively, getting on the glass. He had a great hustle play. I think it was the late third quarter, early fourth, and we had a bad possession. They were about to get the rebound, and he came in from the weak side and fought somebody for the ball, and we got awarded the ball underneath, went off of the Clippers, and that was just pure hustle. That's all we want. You know, he's gonna have good shooting stretches and bad ones, just like everybody else. But as long as he's defending and rebounding, then he's helping us win.
Steve, what changed after halftime? You guys get that run right there to start the third and took control of it.
Yeah, I thought we had a little more energy, a little more juice. The first half was kind of weird. It was just a kind of a dead atmosphere in there. There didn't seem to be the usual kind of energy from the rivalry. You know, these teams have gone at it the last few years, and I didn't see that same fire. It may be that it's just, you know, kind of late in the season, and you know, everybody's a little tired, a little beat up, whatever. But I thought we got a good surge of energy in the third and made some shots and opened up the lead.
Coach, when you look back the history between these two teams, do you think that the 2014 playoffs series is the crucial point that the two teams can have gone the two different ways? You know.
Well, I think usually it takes a playoff series to develop a rivalry, you know, and obviously we're natural geographic rivals, but for many years nobody cared about the Clippers against the Warriors, but the last few years people have cared, and one of the reasons is that great 7-game series that the Clippers won, and so it is a good rivalry, but for whatever reason, like I said, I didn't think tonight had that same juice.
How differently were the Clippers playing the pick and roll, especially with DeAndre? It looked like he was...
Warriors and Clippers played earlier in the year at Oracle Arena. And going back to the playoff series when these two teams met in 2014, the Clippers won that series, Saint, as you all know, in 7. That was Mark Jackson. So you've had a lot of changes with the coaching staff. And one of the main changes is your backup backcourt. Leandro Barbosa was not a Warrior 2 years ago when you lost to the Clippers in 7. Neither was Sean Livingston, and you and I are watching him play tonight. Wow, he is just, I'm almost thinking, even if Iguodala comes back, you may want him in your finishing lineup. He is just so locked in. If he gets a foot in the paint, whether it's backing you in like this or facing it, he's going to make that shot, Sam.
I marvel at his ability to make paint shots. That's that yellow area right in there. Whether he's in a face-up off a one-on-one or whether he gets down on the box against the other team's point guard, he's always got a height advantage, and he can turn both shoulders for his jump shot. He's deadly down there. And after what he went through injury-wise, Pop, to have that lift on his shot is remarkable. He is a very, very good teammate. This guy is a quality guy. He's an extremely smart player. You as a coach can really trust he's going to make good decisions on there, which goes right to your point. You could easily play him in end-of-game situations at multiple positions. You can play him at point to get Steph off the ball, and you can get mismatches whenever you want. He's really stepped up in Andre's absence.
Well, you heard the coach, Steve Kerr, talking about Harrison Barnes. He had a better first half, not as strong in the second half. And when Iguodala comes back, you know, you could conceivably play Steph and Clay. You're always going to play Dre and those three, and Dre, you know, and you're going to play Andre Iguodala. Then the fourth comes down to whether you want to play Bogut, whether you want to play Barnes, or whether you want to play Sean Livingston. If you want to go to that small lineup the way Sean Livingston is playing, then you have two ball handlers in addition to Steph. You have Iguodala and you have Livingston. Right now, he's playing that well, Saint.
I think he's definitely earned that consideration that you just explained. I think the guy has just really played as well as he's played in a Warrior uniform. And you have now what I would consider like 7 guys that you could put on the floor, late game situation, whether you want to go big or small. That's a luxury for a coaching staff.
Since the Andre Iguodala injury, this team has lost 1 game. That was in San Antonio. I mean, Sean Livingston has made it right now a moot point. He's played so well. Obviously, you want Iguodala back. He's one of your best players. But Livingston has been that good. When we come back on Honda Warriors postgame live, we get a little more audio for you. We're going to Sportsnet Central till 10:37. And up next, it is do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.